Namaste, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be across the planet, around the world. My name's Gregg Prescott from In5D.com, and you're tuned into another Spirit Chat this Sunday afternoon. Got something new on Zoom, though. They're trying to help protect against hackers. So now Zoom meeting passwords are automatically on by default on Zoom. And I think that's a great idea. And by default, the waiting room is also on, which I think is a fantastic idea. So that way we're not getting bombed like we have been in the past by hackers and spammers. So it's not a bad thing. So what we're going to be doing is, I'll be letting people on here as soon as I can. And I'm going to try to really multitask in so many different ways. But we'll get there and we will get everyone in. So obviously we have people here already that had no issues getting in, which is fantastic. So if you're watching right now, I'm going to be posting the link and the password in the YouTube chat room. And if you're watching on the recorded version, that is not going to be there. that will be gone by that time. So make sure if you want to join us, click that link. It's in there right now in the YouTube chat room. And make sure you use the password that I attached to it. A bunch of things I want to cover before we open up the chat room. So I guess we'll just jump right into it. I'm just not sure where we're going to start. Got this whole sheet full of stuff I want to cover. Let's start with, let's just do some tarot cards or something. We'll do a spirit messages card. I think we'll start out with oracle cards first. All right. And as always, if you guys have oracle cards or tarot cards or playing deck cards, you can actually use playing cards for divination too. Some people do. But if you have these kind of cards, join us on Zoom. Give us your reading, okay? Because we love hearing them. And as we've found out, most commonly, they all seem to tie into one another, right? So our first oracle card of the evening from John Holland's The Spirit Messages oracle cards is Seek. Okay, so I'm going to just hold it up and read it to you from the book because I can do that. There. The power of spirit exists in all things. Everything is made of energy, and every single thing in your physical world contains a fragment of spirit, including you. That's our, that soul spark that we all have, right? We are all one with spirit and always will be connected to one another. The spirit world is sending you this card because we feel you may be forgetting that you are a multidimensional being. So we want to remind you that you're a spiritual being as well as a physical being. Now is the time to stop seeing everything on a limited physical level and to seek out the spiritual in all things. Learn to see from your heart and soul. Seek out the spiritual beauty in all things, as well as in the people around you. If you're having difficulty understanding someone, try looking beyond what you're seeing in front of you. Layer upon layer of life issues may be disguised, may be disguising the goodness that's inside of that person, making him or her seem mean, resentful, or spiteful. Of course, what are we actually doing and observing? The mirror within us, right? Some individuals may appear aloof or distant, which is a form of protective armor, often due to past hurts. It may be hard at first, but know that a divine spirit exists within these people. Pray that goodness in you honors the goodness in them, and that the goodness in them honors the goodness in you. Right? Namaste. Or as the Mayan would say, in lakach ad alakin. I'm another you, you're another me. That's a good reminder, I think, you know, and many of us have gotten the message to slow down, especially many of us who have a lead foot when we're driving. We tend to like driving really fast. That would be me. Gotta let some people in here. Okay, yeah. So yeah, slow down, because every time I get that message to slow down, I'm looking at what's going on around me. Even if it is when I'm driving, I'm looking at like license plate numbers and why, you know, certain numbers are right in front of me or to the side of me. Making sense of that moment. When you slow down, you're observing everything in that moment. So, you know, that's a wonderful reminder for us to do so. I just want to give a quick shout out to everyone that's in our YouTube chat room. Scott, Light Witness, Emoji King, Andrea, Stephen, Ayla, I think that's how you say it, and Tamara, Up 3, Kay Ray. There's a bunch of people in there. Just want to say hi to everyone. I can't say all of you, or else we won't get to do anything else. But anyway, and a quick shout out to everyone that's joining us here in the Zoom chat room right now. We have Dawn, Desiree, Katie, and we're just being joined by Michelle Dozier, who hopefully will be doing some cards with us once we open up the chat room. I'm going to go to the next thing I'm going to be doing, though, is where is it? Oh, here it is. So, hang on, bear with me. Oh, okay. Yeah, I drew a card, a tarot card from a different deck that I'm using. And this deck is called, it's The Everyday Witch by Deborah Blake. Every one of her cards, just about every one, except the Hierophant and a couple others, have cats in them. And the cats kind of tell you, they're always looking in the direction of what you need to know or what you need to see. Of course, everything means something in all tarot cards. And, you know, that includes the colors that you're seeing in there. Now, Deborah Blake is a Wiccan high priestess. I met her in upstate New York, and wonderful, wonderful lady, and just so knowledgeable about all this stuff. And as a matter of fact, I bought some of her other books. This is called A Year and a Day of Everyday Witchcraft, 366 Ways to Witchify Your Life. And I've bookmarked today's day, so maybe we'll do that. And then I have a couple books that I bought, that Everyday Witch A to Z. And this gives you really cool stuff, like simple spells and, you know, tutorials, what you might want to do with stones and stuff like that. It covers a wide variety. And this one is actually the A to Z spell book, which I'm not necessarily Wiccan or anything. I don't see myself as being anything other than a divine spark of spirit. I don't consider myself Christian or Wiccan or anything else, but I have resorted to using the banishing spell several times in this book. One time, this one person who I tried to support on my website turned around and backstabbed me hard. And then he went basically crazy, and I had to banish him, and it worked. The other time was actually a group of this from this website. I'm not going to mention them because it's not my style to belittle anyone publicly, but they come off as being loving, but they're not. They're the antithesis of that. And just, be careful. That's what I got to tell you about that, about who you follow. So I ended up having to banish a group of people who are they are the antithesis of basically Wicca. They're using dark magic. And so I had to resort to using light magic against them. And it worked with them as well. I don't recommend using magic if you don't have to. And if you ever use it that in a way that's not in humanity's best interests, then beware of the repercussions that are going to come back at you, and it'll come back tenfold. So that being said, this is where is it? Oh, it's right here. Here's the card that I drew from this particular tarot deck. Okay. So we have the Two of Cups, and you can see they have their brooms down by their feet, and they're toasting each other at what appears to be a sunset. And you can see the two cats below right there. One cat is like offering a fish to another. And remember, everything has meaning in these cards. So water, well, the cups is a water card, right? So when you see the fish, you could look at that as being Pisces as well, right? So the Two of Cups represents a meeting, okay? You're meeting someone, and it could be a Pisces. But in a group setting for what I'm looking at as a group, we have a slightly different meaning. Meaning we're all meeting and interacting with new people. So we're finding each other on the internet through various social networking websites. So I would encourage everyone to try to find each other, try to hook up with one another here on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, whatever social media that you have. Because when you create something with other people, it's always bigger than any one individual. Okay. And that's what makes what we're doing right here, right now, so magical, right? So this is what she says about the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is all about connection. That might mean love, whether new and exciting, or forged by the fire of years spent together. It might mean partnership on some other kind of level. But either way, the connection is deep and important, positive and healthy, and not to be taken lightly. Let's see where. Together, these two people make magic, creating something bigger than either of them alone. They raise their glasses to toast each other because they know that a connection like this is rare and valuable and well worth celebrating. And things to consider. If you asked about love, sometimes we put intentions into these cards. What would you like to know about? Whether it's, love, relationships, money, finances, whatever. If you asked about love, it is pretty clear that the answer is a resounding yes. Of course, you might have asked, is this relationship worth hanging on to? In which case, the answer is also yes, unless you know in your heart that what you are looking for, this partnership and commitment, isn't going to happen in whatever relationship you are asking about. For the most part, though, the Two of Cups is thoroughly positive, denoting a relationship, romantic or otherwise, that is based on trust and mutual respect. That's a good thing, no matter what the connection is. And that's what we're looking at here, the relationships that we've built within our community right here. And we have all these different soul groups that we've put together and we're bringing together as well. So that was an awesome card. If you're going to pick a really cool card for today, I think that one nailed it. So, and then This is from Deborah Blake's Everyday Witchcraft, which I showed you before. Every day has a different message. And today's message is Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin is a Buddhist goddess of compassion and mercy, widely revered in China and elsewhere. Her name means something like she who hears, meaning that she hears the cries and prayers of all human beings. She is usually depicted as being gracious and beautiful with a serene and kind expression. Many pagans like to have a statue of Kuan Yin, even if they don't have any other Buddhist learnings. After all, who doesn't need a little bit more compassion? She's also a good reminder for us to be compassionate toward one another. So that's another beautiful message of compassion, loving one another, especially in these days when they're pushing chaos and divide and conquer, ordo ab chaos, order out of chaos. So we're moving beyond that. And what the work we're doing right here, right now, just not even focusing even on the coronavirus or any dissension that's going on in the world, we're helping to raise the vibration, and we're holding space for others to finally join us as well. Okay, so moving on. I'm going to go to, I want to show you guys something here real quick. And I'll be bringing everyone in on Zoom here in 1 second. Just bear with me. Oh, let's go to Twitter. I found this interesting here. All right. So what was trending today on Twitter? Well, at the time, I don't see her on here now, but Queen Elizabeth was trending right before I got on, less than an hour ago. Queen Elizabeth was trending on Twitter, and it caught my curiosity because I thought, okay, well, did the lizard queen finally get busted? Or I was just kind of hoping that, well, finally she's been exposed, but it wasn't that. She was just talking about the coronavirus. All right. Well, so I also want to show you guys this. This is what happened on the Schumann resonance. So last night. So we see this huge whiteout when we had that global meditation, right? So let's take a peek here too. At the amplitude shot up to over 76 during that time period as well. So 76 hertz, that's pretty cool. That's a huge jump. And, you know, we made a huge difference. Everybody that participated in that meditation yesterday. So thank you to everyone who did participate. Thank you for everyone that joined us for the pre-global meditation party that we had here. But yeah, that's really cool. And let's take a peek. And what we're looking at, this is, you know, as of this minute right here, we're still in it right now. So it's been going on since that global meditation. So this energy is continuing, and it's huge. It's great. It's really important, all the work that we did, and it's greatly appreciated. I just want to remind you guys, if you guys enjoy these chats and would like to help support this channel, please consider joining us on Patreon, where we have all these different levels, and you can be, you know, for as little as $1.11. You get listed on the Eternal Wall of Gratitude. You get notified of videos like this. You guys are the first ones to know about it, and you can comment on videos like this once I upload them to Patreon. I've been so busy though lately; it's been tough. For $5.55, you get all that plus ad-free articles, the Insiders Club private chat that we have on the first Wednesday of every month. And for 1111, you get all that from the previous tiers and afterthoughts videos, exclusive mid-month energy reports. And then there's 6 levels. There's 3 more levels beyond that as well. So any support's greatly appreciated, especially, how badly In5D has been shadow banned. And if you can't afford to do any of that, and I understand times are tough, please share the articles, because I'm having a hard time when you're shadow banned and you're trying to share articles. What happens is, you post it and maybe a handful of people can see what you're posting, and that's it. So if any of you can help me share those articles. It's tough for me to ask anyone for anything, but I'm asking you to help me put that out there. I appreciate that. So moving on, I've got lots of people I need to let in here real quick, but we're getting to it. We're getting all you guys in. Okay, so moving on, what else do we have? We talked about the Schumann. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk a little about what I experienced last night, and I would love to, once I open up the chat room, I'd love to hear what you guys experienced last night. And I'm going to post the link here real quick, once again, to our chat here on Zoom. And thank you for everyone that was waiting. I'm sorry that, it's got to be this way, but it's helping us to prevent the hackers and spammers from coming in. So last night, Des had a watch party for Franco Di Nicola, and I showed up for it, but I left right, I think it was at 10:44, because it didn't seem like he was going to go into that meditation at that point in time. And I wanted to tune into the global coherence of that meditation, because as you guys all know, or many of you know, especially if you're empaths or super empaths, you're going to pick up on that energy, and your crown chakra is just going to open up wide, and the hair on your arms is going to stand up, yeah, I wanted to pick up on that, and I did, and it was wonderful. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm still feeling that tingling sensation, and I haven't done today's high pitch frequency yet, and I need to do that, but it wouldn't surprise me if it is the crown chakra. So I did that, and I got away from the Franco Di Nicola video, and I did my meditation. Of course, as I recommended yesterday, protect yourself beforehand, right? Do whatever it is you need to do to protect yourself before going into meditation, because especially when your crown chakra is that wide open, you can be vulnerable to ethereal attacks. So mine was relatively short, I would say. What I was doing was I was focusing on just bringing that 5D energy in, and I was envisioning it just covering the planet, almost like my vision that I had of just when the event happens, the white light just floods the planet instantaneously. That's what I was focusing on, was that flooding of the planet of white light, and feeling that unconditional love, trying to bring that sensation. And I did that for about 15 minutes straight. And then I got done, and I went on YouTube to see what was going on there. And I noticed that David Wilcock had a meditation going on as well. And he had like 25,000 people that were there meditating. And I tuned into that for a little while, but it was kind of scattered. So I ended up getting out of it. And I forgot what I did afterwards, but that was basically my experience with that meditation, the global meditation, and what the energy that I put in. So I just want to remind people, if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe and the bell notification. If you enjoy videos like this, give us a thumbs up if you enjoy these kind of videos too. And I would like to hear what you guys think about what happened. What were your experiences yesterday with this global meditation? And I'm going to unmute everyone right now and bring in some more people. So what did you guys think or feel about yesterday's global meditation?
Hi, Greg.
Hi, Katie.
How are you? I gotta put on my video. How are you?
Great. I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm blasted.
Blasted.
Yeah, blasting. not
Okay.
Ed, no ED.
Blasted. Hey, have a drink for me.
Blasting my head's been blasting for so long. So, you know, as a grid keeper, my day's a little different when there's global meditations. You know, Ray and I was called to shut everything down, and I was called to set intentions for the meditation that encompassed, you know, everything that would, you know, uplift the collective. And then Ray and I were, you know, what we do before. He's every man and I'm every female energy on the planet. And we did the intention protection for everyone. The other thing I did was channeled to bring in all children that had not been invited and all seniors that had not been invited or known about it, you know, making them, acknowledging them, because, you know, the general group, the kind of general group that was going, you know, is going on, we already know it's mostly light workers. And that was a really, really powerful session. So I connected with the 444 portal on that, and then did the meditation in the evening. And all night long, I saw myself, and it's not me, it's all of us being like rewired. Literally, it was a very literal thing. Like, this copper part goes to this part, and now this part goes to that part, and that part goes to this part. But one of the most interesting things that was channeled during the healing meditation was the new geometry coming in. And then during the meditation, one of the most interesting points was I saw like a Mount Fuji of light coming up, which is the collective group of meditation. And then that light being met with ours. And there's no room, because one of the things I was focused on as well personally is there's no more room for this darkness, for these shadows, for these parasites. There's just no more room. And I felt and saw there's just the taking away of any room that there would be for that on this planet. So those were really beautiful. And later, when you're done, everybody's sharing, I did the Kuan Yin deck, because you called Kuan Yin. You had a Kuan Yin card?
Yes.
I did the Kuan Yin card, and then I did the inner child deck. So later, when you're ready, I'll share that.
So what you got out of that, your meditation, was a lot of light flooding the planet, right? Whether it's from here going out or out coming in, right?
Well, you know, usually when there's a collective meditation, I feel light from the group, but this time there was a definite, like, solid, really solid, you know, light coming up that was so solid that the light, the pillar of light met it in a whole different way than I had experienced before. And that in that meeting, there was no more room for what all the patterns, all the shadow, all the
dark, right,
darkness.
Yeah,
no more room.
Right.
And then I really focused on that. I really focused on that heavily.
So that's exactly where we are right now. It's perfect, because, you know, the dark is getting exposed, and that's what has to happen in order for us to move forward. And as I've mentioned in the past, we may end up taking a step backwards, very little one, before we take this quantum leap forward. And with all this light coming in, And
yeah,
it's gonna
but
happen.
I also want to mention from what I felt and saw and experienced all night and experienced since I shared last Monday and Wednesday is that really don't be disappointed if you don't see the exposure, the level of exposure you want to see, because a lot of things are just disappearing because we're shifted timelines. You know, there's whole new geometry that came in. That was part of that session that we did. And, you know, I would say that, you know, after doing these sessions directly with intention for 12, I don't know how many years, 12 to 15 years on a regular basis, I've never seen that happen. And of course, I've worked with the collective we have worked with the collective all this time, whether it's just us or in a group. So it's the first time that serious new geometry came in. I mean, there was what I want to say, a complete repatterning that I had not experienced in the past at a level I had not seen in the past or knew in the past. And that tells me personally that, oh, we've really jumped timelines. Now let's look around and see the difference. Let's look around and see the beauty of it, because there's the colors, your colors, when you look around, if you stop right now, if everyone stops right now and sees, you know, has that color ever looked that brilliant to me before? Or that person just said something they never would say. What happened? You know, we look at the difference. We look at how our heart center feels. We look how the difference everywhere we can, that grounds this new pattern and geometry in at a deeper level. It's grounded in, but it's grounded. This is my new hematite. I found that in the desert. This is the hematite, and what else? It's hematite and magnetite. Yeah, it's a splat in the desert of hematite and magnetite. My grounding stone for this meditation. It's a serious grounding stone.
How long did you meditate for?
I spent many hours.
Wow.
Working with this.
Thank you.
No, I get direct instructions. Hey, you with us. Shut everything off, and that was early in the day. So, a healing came in for a friend. I just saw it in the background. They're guides. So how I do it is, will you stop? How I do it is the same as you talk about doing things. Is I call every I am presence. I call their guardian angel, their guides, and I invite them and welcome them into the session. So it gets intense, it gets crowded, and the intensity for days that I experience is it's unexplainable, and it's very, very intense. So I go through the same healing process, the same experience usually after, but this time we didn't have, usually our session involves us feeling cooked at some point. Like our session before last, I was like, I'm cooked, I'm done. I can't handle any more energy. It's just so wild. And this time it was soft, it was smooth. I worked with crystals, past and present, on the body. Did all kinds of things. All kinds of things occurred, but I will feel this for a long time.
How did you sleep afterwards?
I slept almost in dream state, but almost in awakened dream state, where I saw all this repattern. I feel it. My head is, it's like 20 million little bulldozers, you know, little kids bulldozers moving stuff around in it all the time, and my body. And that's that can be normal sometimes, you know, a normal day, but this is far more intense and so much being moved. And as I shared this probably the last couple times, there's a lot of movement going on and changes happening. So that's being grounded now because it was invited at a very deep level. I think because everyone has slowed down enough throughout the planet that it could really, you know, God works in mysterious ways. It could really be, you know, a lot of people have given up their life here probably for this to happen as well, you know, that this is a combination effort to support everyone and everything about the planet and what's going on in the planet. And it's intense. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
What do you have on your necklace?
Kyanite.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, kyanite. And they're both. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing. That's, you know, I love hearing what other people have done, and wow, you sure did a lot of work, and it's greatly appreciated.
Thank you. You know, there's a lot of us couples probably, you know, around the planet that do this and don't have a format. Maybe they know about to share their experience, but you know, I know energetically that we're not the only couple that represents the male and female throughout the planet when doing these kinds of healings and channelings, and nobody knows about them. I'm sure there's many out there.
Kat Aaron Davis. Can you rephrase that? It sounds really interesting, but it doesn't grammatically make sense what you just said. She's talking about the Queen. She said the Queen just spoke and announced, and that's where it gets a little convoluted, that we the rainbow. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. We the rainbow. That part, I'm lost. Rephrase that. I'm curious though where you're going with the Queen, because like I was saying earlier, she was trending on Twitter. So I'm curious where that's going. Did you find that? Did you buy that blue kyanite, or did you find that?
Oh, I bought it and I put a bail on the back of it with a little diamond drill bit. I roughed it up and flattened it and glued it on with E6000.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, if anyone else wants to tell about their experiences yesterday.
Yeah, I do.
Thanks, Bill. All right.
Yeah, so I started out, actually I started out with that David Wilcock thing, and I saw it was getting close. I had one that I located on Facebook, and it was a really good one. But I started off with the David Wilcock, and he was going on as he goes on. And I also had done a note on another one that was, they were more of a, along the Indian lines of they did the chakras and all that. So I actually had 3 different meditations that I was tapping into, plus the one you talked about, starting at about 7:30 until about 8:30 by the time I got done. But the best one, or the mass meditation one, was the one on Facebook. That only lasted 20 minutes, but it was intense. I mean, my whole body was vibrating. The energy coming out of my hands through my crown and out was immense. I mean, I've never run that much energy and not ended up with like blisters or anything like that on my hands, just from the heat of it all. Though I think I've pretty well cleared that channel out, so that doesn't happen. It hasn't happened in years, I will say. But what I'm just chuffed as hell about, man, is that Schumann resonance. We got up to a power 76. And basically from 1 o'clock UTC, which I think is about when the meditation started. The Schumann went up to the 40s. And I mean, you look at that Schumann report on disclosure, the Schumann resonance today, disclosure, and it's pretty. I mean, it's just a big white with red, yellow. You know, it was a thing to see. It really gave me high hopes. I know during the meditation, I felt like everyone was healed or could be healed in that moment. And my guides told me that we did get over 1 million meditators, and through that we helped over 1 billion people.
Wow.
So that's what I got.
Okay. So well, I'm curious. Do you know what the channel was, or could you share a link from that meditation? I would love to check it out. I wonder if it's got to be on YouTube somewhere, right?
Yeah, I think so, man, but I'm not positive whether that was a one-off or what. Let's see, I'll go to my Facebook and see if I can find it. Somebody else can talk while I do that.
I'm seeing a lot of comments on on YouTube. A lot of people said they didn't personally care for Wilcox's meditation. Yeah, and to each their own. You know, I'm sure it did resonate with a lot of people, but you know, for me, I stayed for a few minutes and that was it. It just wasn't for me. So yeah, if anyone else wants, I see Brandy has her hand up.
Hey, so can you guys hear me?
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
So I just did. I'm sorry, my mic is so loud. I just did my own thing. You know, I run my page on Facebook, so I posted a 444 portal meditation, and I did it with my group on my page. It was really nice. We did it for about, I think it was an hour. I think it was an hour. You know, I always have a really pretty high vibration, so the only thing that was a little different for me, I don't know if anybody, I wanted to see if anybody else felt this. I had a pressure, like pushing, like onto my third eye. Did anybody else feel that? I was going to see if
I
anybody else.
have that. I have that a lot, Brandy,
Yeah.
for a couple of years. Yeah.
Yeah. Never experienced that one before, so that was a new one. But yeah, I mean, it was nice. It was calming. I think I slept, but I don't feel like I slept at all. So I'm pretty sure that I didn't. I did have a 6:30 a.m. doctor's appointment on the, like webcam. So I don't think I slept. I don't feel like I did. So, and I don't look like I did. So, but it was really peaceful. And all I did in my meditation was I just wanted to make sure that love and light went out to everyone. So.
awesome. Sounds like an awesome experience for you. You enjoyed it, right?
Oh yes, it was wonderful, and I got to share it with everybody on my page and on my personal page. So, because I wanted everybody to feel what I feel, like how I feel all the time.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing your experience and contributing to what everyone else was building upon.
I have to say that last night was my actual first experience on ever actually doing a global meditation. I've always wanted to do it, but I've never done it before until last night. And so I just followed the original page that started this whole thing globally, and I followed them. And the reason for that is because I loved the music that they had and the video that they had, and I could focus on that. And I found myself getting so deep into the meditation, I could feel my fingers tingling, and, hold my hands up like that so everything could go into the universe. And before I knew it, I was so deep in my meditation, I actually fell asleep. And I was sleeping so deeply at the time that I felt like Brandy. I was asleep, but I wasn't asleep. I felt like I was flying. I felt like I was just flying, but not really going anywhere, but just flying freely, and I could see everything going on around me. And then the next thing I knew, I could hear the wolves across the street started howling. The coyotes back here in the campground started yiping, and I woke up and I rolled over and I looked at the clock and it said 4:44 a.m. And about that time, then my dog wanted out. So I got up, let the dog out, came back to bed. I'm like, oh God, 4:44. I got to get back into try to meditate again. So I went back into meditating a little bit. And before I closed my eyes, because I'm in the mountains at 7,500 feet. So when I look out my window, I could see these shooting stars. I mean, there was falling stars everywhere. And I'm like, we have a meteorite storm going on or what? I mean, there was just shooting stars everywhere. And I thought, cool. So I went back in my meditating state and I fell asleep again. And then by that time I woke up. But when I woke up again, I felt refreshed. I felt like I actually slept. When in reality, I don't know that if I was really sleeping or if I just went into such a deep REM sleep that I was dreaming hard. And I know that when you eat certain foods before you go to bed, like onions or anything, raw onions or anything like that, it stimulates the neuron cells in your brain and you'll dream more. So I don't know if that's what it was caused from, but it was just weird. The part that I caught that really caught me was I woke up at 4:44 a.m. and the fur kids across the street were howling and the coyotes, the wildlife in the campground, they were yiping and going crazy. And I'm like, wow, they're feeling it too. So I think it affected more than just the humans. I think that even the global meditation, which I want to get more into, also affects the wildlife as well. I kind of believe that. I don't know if anybody else does, but I think animals also sense those things when things are going on with Mother Earth and Father Sky. I think they feel it as well as we do.
So for your first time having a global meditation experience, will you do it again?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Because I mean, I want to get more into this group that originally posted this global meditation because I had never heard of them before until I saw their posts, saying, oh, make it go viral, this, that, and the other. But then they actually, on their website, they actually have a schedule of different things that they do global meditations for. So yeah, I definitely want to get deeper into that. I think it's healthy and I think it serves a good purpose. And, I didn't understand, the charts that, the earth frequency charts that you were posting, but Desiree, she sent that copy over to me today and I researched it and I wanted to get better understanding on what's going on with these earth frequencies, and how humans affect the frequencies. And when I went back and I looked and it showed 7.8 hertz is the normal frequency. And then after last night's global meditation, the numbers were off the charts. So, I mean, there's something to this. And regardless of what your faith is or whatever, this stuff is real. I mean, it's surreal, and I want to get deeper into that. So
Don't feel badly either about falling asleep. Every one of us have done that. And if someone says they haven't, they're lying.
there's just something. There was just something about it. Listening to the music and focusing on what they want you to focus on, and it's so relaxing. And I honestly can't remember what the last time because I have OCD, and a lot of people like me with OCD have a really hard time shutting their brain off. It's like even when you're sleeping, you're thinking, and that's still even though I felt was relaxed, fell asleep. I still caught myself dreaming. I dreamt that I was flying, but in the same token, I was relaxed. I was chilled. I wasn't stressed. I wasn't tensed about anything. And for a moment, I wasn't thinking about anything but, hoping, everybody that's sick gets better, and, just trying to lift the frequency to, hoping everything gets better and we can go back to a normal life, if not better. So, but yeah, I would totally do this again. I would totally do this again. It was, it was my first experience, and yeah, I definitely want to do this again. Totally.
Sweet. I'm glad you enjoyed that experience. And I think your testimony, if somebody hasn't done one of these before, that should be enough to get people to say, yeah, I want to do it the next time. Right. So thank you for that. If there's anyone else that would like to talk about their experience, jump on in. James.
Hey guys, so my experience last night, I took a little bit of shrooms, so that really intensified it. I did the one with Desiree, the one that you started, Greg, the one that she did the watch party for. I did that. I focused on like letting a bunch of stuff go. I focused on accepting new stuff, new things into my life, new light. And it got pretty intense at times, but I really enjoyed it, and I feel great. It was loved it. I could feel like mass vibrations going on last night. It was awesome. So
Wait. You said it felt pretty intense. What did you personally feel?
well, so you can eat shrooms and you feel funny, but you can eat shrooms and meditate, and it takes it to a different level of just really feeling energies, feeling love, like just absolutely massively being overwhelmed by it, feeling release, like actually seeing the energy release, seeing love come into me and love go out of me. It just
Could you feel the collective
yeah.
meditating with you?
Yeah. It was intense. I could just feel these vibrations, all throughout. It was intense.
On YouTube, Yeshua, was it? Where did it go? Anyway, somebody on YouTube was saying they love your hair.
Thank you.
I love your shirt, the Hendrix shirt. Yeah.
Yeah. This is my current chakra shirt until I get my new ones coming in the mail from you.
Right. That's a great root chakra, right? With the red, yeah, grounding.
Yeah.
Sure.
I have to do. I have to wear a lot of red.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that. Cool. Thank you, James, for sharing.
Thank you.
All right. Who's next? Who wants to jump in?
I'll speak up. How's it going, guys?
Hey, Ryan. You've
Hi,
been
Ryan.
watching. You've been watching, but not talking lately.
Yeah. Absorbing it all in.
Yeah, it's all good.
Great group you got here.
Thank
Hey,
you.
I had an experience last night. I was watching you guys last night, and I don't know, for some reason I was getting agitated. And in the night I couldn't get the links going and everything, and finally found something on Facebook and started to meditate. And my body was like, I've been dealing with pain, throughout my body. And so I couldn't get comfortable. I usually sit up when I meditate for about an hour, and then I said, the hell with it, I'm going to lay down. So I laid down for a while, and I dozed off. I don't remember exactly what was going on, but just like Phil, like my body was full of bumblebees, man. I was buzzing for a little while. I don't remember if it was during that hour meditation or I woke up later in the night and I couldn't remember if I meditated the whole time. So I just did it again. And so everything was just kind of like blurry. I had some crazy dreams. Went for a walk this morning and just felt great. So, but yeah, there was definitely something going on. And then to see that Schumann resonance was pretty amazing. So, yeah.
I'll ask you the same question I asked James. Could you feel other people meditating along with you?
You know, I can't say that I did, but I definitely kind of, ran through my brain of, everyone I knew, and just kind of sent out some love to everybody. And, but yeah, I don't think I could feel anything like that.
Okay. Okay.
I was trying to quiet my mind as much as possible, just, it's hard to get in that present moment sometimes.
That's cool. By the way, your shirts have been mailed out. Hopefully
Yeah,
you
man.
get them
Thank you.
soon. No,
Awesome.
thank you. Appreciate that. Enjoy that. Thank
No
you.
worries.
And thank you for sharing your experience as well.
Yeah.
You know what I found Ryan was, I have a problem being in a large group of people.
Yeah.
But for some reason, this world meditation thing, even though I was meditating, it's not like I could really feel people around me, but I knew I wasn't alone.
Yeah.
And I knew, and I was actually comfortable with it. I was actually comfortable with knowing I was meditating with the rest of the world, that there was people on the other side of the planet that are meditating, basically similar about the same time I am, and it was just kind of a cool feeling. It was a cool
It's
feeling
great.
knowing, it was a cool feeling just knowing that, I couldn't actually see people or feel people, but I knew they were there, that kind of sort of thing. And that has been the only time, like I said, it was my first time ever doing this. And this is the first time I ever felt comfortable being around a large, massive group of humans.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
So I see Desiree has her hand up. Des, jump in.
Yeah, I did the meditation with Franco last night. At first he was talking about, what to expect for this, and it went slow at first, but then once you got into it, he took. Okay, so the thing was, he said he was going to take the first 10 minutes to explain things, and then get you to that part where you're just going to start to relax. And as I started relaxing, man, I had such bad head pressure yesterday, all through yesterday, and it was turned into a headache. And last night, like, my third eye opened, and I couldn't. I mean, I slept. It was like lucid dreaming, but I actually tossed and turned the whole entire night because I felt so high, full of energy, and I couldn't get to a sleep state because I was feeling everybody's energy. And then I woke up this morning. I looked instantly at the Schumann resonance because I was like, okay, it's time to wake up. I got up. My daughter woke me up. Mom. Okay. Time to wake up. And man, the energy today just feels so happy and light. And I'm painting, and we're dancing and singing, and there's not a chemtrail in the sky. I woke up. I opened up the windows. It's so great. But last night, before I laid down for bed, the barred owls were speaking, and I took a video of them last night, but my phone doesn't pick up the frequency that they put out because it's such a high frequency. And it's amazing. Like, when I was meditating, my hands, I felt like I was holding every single person's hand, like we were all in a circle. I felt the beams of light, and it makes me want to cry because it's so amazing, the love. Before we were supposed to start meditating, I was about to burst in tears because I was so grateful for this. This is what we are here for, to help the energy of Gaia and for us to connect. And it's so amazing, the feeling that we have within each other, the beams of light we radiated off of Gaia last night and till today, and to whatever we're all going to be radiating. You can literally feel the energy radiating. You can see from outer space, if you get to that moment of that energy field, you can see it and feel it. Imagine every single person on this planet beaming a great huge light out from the core of Gaia all the way out to the universe. And if you go outside of if you look out from the earth and you're in space looking out at Gaia, just imagine the light beaming out this bright blue and beautiful platinum energy just beaming out. And this is a time where Gaia is just, I'm getting goosebumps. It's so beautiful. The love I have for everybody. It's so amazing for all of us getting together. This is truly a magnificent time that we're going through. It's meant to be, man. It's so beautiful.
Desiree, maybe nobody will roll their eyes so much anymore to me when I say that these are holy days.
So beautiful, man.
Yeah, that sounds like an electrifying experience, Des. I have a friend of mine that wanted to find a way to contact you. Apparently she couldn't find you searching Facebook, so she asked me to give her your Facebook profile URL. So you'll be getting a friend
Okay.
request from a woman named Diane.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
And Phil, thank you for that. I just saw you just bought a shirt. Thank you.
Oh, you bet, man. I want to ring in on what Desi just said, because when I went to bed last night, guess what I heard? Owls.
Wow.
I have not heard owls in a long time, but they were out last night and they were hooting for all they were yay. Hoo 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 hoo.
Who's meditating? Woo. We have a tree hugger Dave with his hand up in the air. Hey, Dave, how are you?
Hey, everybody.
Wow.
We turn it back around. I had it pointing at the tree that I so that I can move around. Anyway, hope everybody's doing well. I look like crap right now as I see myself in the camera.
We're not judging.
Just no worries. Yesterday, I mean, I would say since I was a kid, I had this dream that somehow we were all interacting together, like we were all dreaming a collective dream, and everybody inside could wander off and have their own personal dream, which I think got derailed and became everybody's ego dream. And then we forgot who we were and became the egos. And I was like at 4 and 5 and 6 and looking at the adults going, WTF, though we didn't use those letters back then. And I didn't have the language back with meaning, but it was still the same thing in me of, are you kidding me? You guys can't figure out that this is all just to get along, interact, find what brings you joy along the way, meet friends and whatnot. Anyway, so I had this dream as a kid that, well, okay, technology seems to be helping us do with greater ease what we used to manually have to do physical labor wise. And every time we'd replace humanity with the next tool, humanity would get stir crazy and bored, and we'd start finding new and creative ways to do stuff. And then we'd want to bring it to everybody else. So like easiest example would be like, we knew how to wash clothes, so we figured out how to make a machine to wash clothes. So we plug it in. So now we can do that and not spend hours of our day washing clothes. So we can go about doing the other things we love. But then we forget that the tool was just a process tool. Anyway, I'm getting lost. I always had the thought that someday the technology would find a way, like we will build a robot computer brain that is collectively able to hold all of our genius. So it's 8 billion people on the planet, 8 billion genius potentials. We will someday be able to invent a technology that can do that for us so that we can stop doing long enough to get back to remembering, what it's like and love of being. So last night was the first time in a long time that I felt the power of that reality of everybody stopping their individual dreams to come together for a collective dream that was many of us individuals. I only did a couple little 5-minute, 10-minute videos of my donation to the community, to the world. And I did it with the thought that whatever I'm offering out is just one note of the harmony that's going to play out. And then I shut my ego off and went on to everybody else's channels and just skipped and roamed for 12 hours, enjoying everybody else's versions of the meditation of that's them going to their, pardon the puns, to their root chakra all the way down to the planet and bringing up their truth of the frequency of what they know to be source, and then emanating it out like the trees glowing out into the universe, their love and light, reflecting off the sun and the moon and the stars and all that, bringing back the potential, and it just overlapping to create, what's the word? It's like when there's too much noise in the head, it creates like a foggy snow space, but echo chamber. So we created an echo chamber on Earth of at least a few billion people consciously putting out their vibration into the dream. That makes sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense, actually. And what was really cool about the whole experience, I think, last night, is that there was one ultimate commonality amongst all of us, and that is, despite what anyone else was focusing their attention on, it all fell under the vibration of love. So it's beautiful, and that's the whole commonality. That's what brought us all together. That's why and how many of us would feel that tingling. I still feel it in my crown chakra, but I still feel that going on, that tingling sensation and that feeling of oneness, connecting our divine spark with everyone else's and coming together. It's a beautiful thing.
Gregg, that tingling sensation might not go away.
Good. Good.
It hasn't.
Yeah, that's awesome. I just want to give a shout out to Christina. Thank you for the shirt order. Appreciate that. So who else would like to speak? And thank you for sharing, Dave.
Beautiful, Dave. Thank you.
You're welcome. Pleasure. We all play our little part as a jigsaw puzzle in it.
Yes.
Hey, we all had the same thought pattern, because that is all that matters.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess if no one else is going to jump in, Katie, you can do some card readings.
Okay. I already pulled them, and you inspired me to pull Kuan Yin because you received that card. So
Yeah.
here, it's kind of, I turn more lights on. I don't know if it's helping, but here's the card. This is a beautiful deck by Alana Fairchild.
Can you hold the card up again?
Yeah, I need
Please.
light.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Alana Fairchild. It's her deck. And I won't read it all because this is a book of, I'm going to read the first part because otherwise people will be falling asleep. There is a situation, this is for the group. There's a situation in your life that is about to reveal itself to you with greater clarity. Just like sand shifting, the picture will seem clearer and quite different to how it once appeared to you. This clarity will bring you great relief and confirmation of your intuition. Be patient and allow the revelation to come to you at the perfect time. I know you like that one. And the prayer for the dance unveiling is, beloved Kuan Yin, I now let go of any fear that would distort my perceptions and prevent me from beholding the highest levels of truth, which I am capable of perceiving. Help me now, beloved one, with your divine dance of mercy and compassion, that the confusion may clear Any distortion may be released and the truth be revealed with grace and simplicity. Unveil the truths with your dance of grace, beloved. Thank you. Thank you. Om Mani Padme Hum. So that, I pulled 3 there, but I don't have to share all 3. I also pulled the deck. I'll tell you what they are. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
You can tell us about each one.
Each one? Okay. Okay, oddly enough, the first card I pulled was 36, and this is 37. And this is the Lotus Throne. The other one was the Tai Chi Rising. I forgot to say the name of it. I don't do this all the time. The Tai Chi Rising. This is the Lotus Throne. So this is the very next card, which is
Progress.
interesting. Yeah. The same lotus wisdom that enlightens beloved Kuan Yin and all spiritual masters is the very same lotus light within your own heart, beloved. It can take great courage to trust your own inner light. Yes, it can. To ascend the throne of your own inner spiritual authority, especially if the light of others around you seems more powerful than your own. You are being asked to trust this inner guidance above all matters now, and all others now, I should say. I'll add above all matters as well. I like that. Have faith in your own heart. Know that you are divine. That's a really good message to me. And the prayer that goes with it is, you burn bright in my heart, guiding me eternally, divine lotus of light, my very own heart. I ascend to the lotus throne within you, my power, my wisdom, my love, and light acknowledged. All is well within my own soul. By Kuan Yin's grace and my own divine fire, I trust in the power of myself spiritually now more than ever. Om Mani Padme Hum. And then the last one of this deck is the Dance Unveiling. Oh my goodness. Oh no, I did that one. I got confused. Okay, the Tai Chi Rising I didn't do. The first one I did was the Dance Unveiling. I don't have a table in front of me, so I got confused. So number 32, I have not done that one. My apologies to everyone.
Can you show that card again?
We're now doing the Tai Chi Rising. I messed up. Number 36, page 36 was the Dance Unveiling. Oh, your energy field is growing stronger. Yay! With more spiritual electricity pulsing through your being. Take time to nourish your nervous system as it adjusts, and be gentle with yourself as you adjust to increasing levels of spiritual potency, which gives more impact to your words, actions, and thoughts. Well, I do say that's relevant. And I will add to that more electricity requires more water in your diet, that you might not realize that your Kundalini is risen, because everybody has Kundalini at some form or another. And your system can get dried out from the amount of electricity that runs through it. It can get more dried out than you realize. So the prayer for the Tai Chi Rising is, through the mercy and compassion of Kuan Yin and my own free will, may my energy field grow to meet the needs of my soul light. May I be strong and merciful, powerful and wise in equal measure. May I be loving and potent with temperance and peaceful intention. Om Mani Padme Hum. So that's Kuan Yin.
Om Mani Padme.
What's that saying that you keep saying at the end? What does that mean?
Om Mane Padme Hum.
Mm-hmm.
That I think that's internal enlightenment.
Okay.
I got that in the middle of the night one night. A couple of months ago, I woke up in the middle of the night and I heard Om Mane Padme Hum. Like, you're supposed to say this, you know.
Maybe that was your
over and over.
husband snoring.
Ah, man,
No, it was
He
not her
snores.
husband snoring.
He
That's Kuan
snores.
Yin.
He
That
snores
is a prayer
less
to Kuan
now.
Yin. That is
And
a prayer to Kuan Yin.
And so I woke up to it and I looked it up, and it was about, you know, gaining your enlightenment. So
Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. I
you're
see.
welcome.
I think
They all
actually,
seem very pertinent.
Yes, as always, right?
Yeah.
I see
Thank
Michelle
you to
has
the group.
Michelle
The
has
group
her
was
hand up.
open. That's why. Thank
Mhm.
you. I'm going to mute myself.
Okay. Michelle, do you have cards for us?
Hi, yeah.
Yay.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
So you pulled the Two of Cups earlier, right? And when you pulled the Two of Cups and you was talking about not just like you see the two people coming together, friendship, you know, love, friendship, whatever. Also, this is the dancer of friendship. As soon as you start talking about that, this one was just like right in my face. So I pulled that. And it's from the Shaman's Oracle deck.
Okay.
And it says, I am the dancer of friendship. I extend my arms to embrace everything I see that holds good will toward me. I dance in the moment of delight and strengthen the intentions and desires of those who accept me. I hold up a mirror to all things and can bring you into the presence of a balanced life. If you lack the companionship of friends, I can help you find it. Once you have danced with me, you are no longer alone, but walk with others at your side, no matter what trials or adversities you meet with. Without friends, the most basic of human needs is not being satisfied, although we come into the world alone and leave it the same way. The time we spend on earth should be one of partnerships, constantly unfolding. Friends are an essential part of this, including family, lovers, and the people who establish themselves as a part of our lives and remain so for years. The dancer of friendship reminds us that allies, both spiritual and human, surround us at every moment. We have only to reach out to encounter with them. With friends, we are supported, nurtured, and strengthened in our journey.
You know, what that reminds me of is I was in a fraternity that has a prayer that's reminiscent to the Freemasons prayer. And what that basically does is sheds the light on how important it is when two or three are gathered together in thy name, thou will be in thy midst and bless them. It's the power of bringing together those of like minds and putting those intentions out there, and magnifying those intentions through more than one person.
Yes.
Greg,
That was it.
when you do healing circles, every time another person's added or a few more people are added, it's just, whoa. So beautiful.
Okay, I'm going to jump in here. I wanted to talk about the fact that, yeah, if you're with couples, that's great, but you can, any male can connect to its anima and any female can connect to her animus. So we can become whole within ourselves and radiate both polarities. That, yeah. So I just wanted to say that.
Thank
Oh,
you, Phil.
absolutely, Phil. It's just that, yeah, absolutely. It just happens to work that way for us. That's all. Yes.
And booyah for you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
you have any more cards, Michelle?
One more.
Yeah, that's it. Come on. I know you
Yeah,
got plenty more.
just one more, just one more. And I also I play with dice a lot. I have I have a fascination for dice for whatever reason, I don't know. So I have 11 dice and I was rolling them and I kept on rolling. But the first roll came out with 4 4s and the other one was all 2s. So there was 7 2s and 4 4s.
I'm not
I don't
playing you in Yahtzee. I'll tell you that.
Okay, so the card is from the Rumi cards by the Rumi Oracle cards by Alana Fairchild, and it's number 13. And hope you can see it. It is a rise. You see somebody cowering down right here with her, like, yeah, yeah. She always, whenever I'm having playing with cards, she likes to lay on the table, like, and lay on all over the cards.
She shuffles them for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Let her pick the cards.
Yeah, continue, please.
Okay, so this is just like all of Alana Fairchild's decks are basically long in read. Like, who was it? KD mentioned when she had the Kuan Yin.
Yeah, I did too.
Okay, so this, So this says, I dance before you in sacred spectacle, hoping to garner your attention. Look at me. I cry to your ailing spirit and despondent flesh. Look at me. If you were to look up, you would see that I am a mirror of your own being, your light, your heart, your spirit, your all. Yes, there is pain. Yes, there is letting go taking place, and you are frightened and uncertain sometimes, but you make this mean something that it does not. It means that you are to turn your head away from what is dying. Do this gently but firmly. Turn your head towards what is living. Look at me. I will show you truth, and I shall laugh your deepest belly laughter. It's funny. I'm sorry. No, it's perfect. Laughter with so much glee, sharing in my secret that the only force at work in your life is unconditional loving divinity. It says, I see you, a divine wild child and sacred heart. You have gumption. I cannot pronounce this word, but basically it's saying guts. You dare to love where others only see pain. You dare to believe that everything will somehow work out where others see only what they judge to be wrong. You see love where others apply fear. You seek freedom where the world still buys into manipulation and propaganda. Don't lose heart, beloved wild child. Dare to believe. You are right to do so. It is the divine rebel in you that refuses to surrender hope. Give up the fight, perhaps the battle that comes from a place of fear, but never give up your hope. The hope and there goes that word hope again. Knowing, never mind. The hope in your heart, that optimism and patience for growth into love creates light within you that helps the world to see through darkness. It becomes a candle that shimmers contently upon the windowsill of your heart temple. There it is, more obvious even in darkness. The stars do appear to shine brighter at night, beloved, but don't become consumed by your nightmares. They will pass with the coming dawn, you'll see. Don't give them too much stock. Instead, put your attention toward the defiant candle of hope that burns as its nature and purpose within you. As it is its nature and purpose within you. Can you sense the warmth and even in the presence of cold fear, I shall warm you now. And if not, when I come to find you, you are a blazing angel. We are blazing angels. You filled with holy fire, and you shall prevail. But you get to this is like two more pages long. I'm not sure if I want to read the whole thing.
what I'm getting out of that is just recognizing yourself and other people. The Mayans had that saying, "In lakech alakin," I am another you, you are another me, right?
Another me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And to realize that the divinity you see in yourself is the divinity we see in others. And to remember that, especially when we see people that may not be reflecting the values we may necessarily hold right now, but that is me, that is you in that person, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
See. Okay. Yes.
All right, I've got a deck I'm using right now. I'm shuffling right now. It's mermaids and dolphins. So let's see if we get a mermaid or a dolphin. Maybe we'll get both. Probably both. That's my guess. Okay, healing heart is what we have.
That's my favorite card out of that deck.
Really?
Yes.
How come?
I
Why?
just love it because I mean, I think we all have healing hearts when we tap into that wisdom of our heart, but that just explains a lot of what I've been going through over the last, I say 3 years.
Yeah.
So,
well, yeah, many of us, like you said.
yeah, many of us. Yeah, all of us. Yeah.
Well, it's the mantra down below says, "You're a powerful healer. Keep up the good work." And we'll take a look at the meaning here, deeper meaning. Okay, so healing heart. Deep within your heart, you're aware of your healing abilities. Perhaps you've received feedback from others about the way that your words or touch have helped them heal. By drawing this card, you've urged to take your healing work to the next level. You're also asked to purify your diet and thoughts so that higher frequencies of healing can energy can flow through you. By opening to the next level, you'll notice a shift in the people or situations that come to you for help. You may find the number of healing opportunities increasing, or your clients may display a greater understanding of spirituality. Heaven wishes to support your healing work completely if you'd like to further your education. Working in a healing center or increase your income, just ask and then be open to receiving. So, it's funny because I've seen a common theme, especially here on In5D, on like some of the In5D live chats that I've been having lately. There's been this push on getting healthy with a lot of the people I've been interviewing lately on my podcast. We had Andy Monks on here talking about the fruitarian diet. I was just talking to a friend about that, the fruitarian diet, possibly using that as a way to kickstart or reset everything that's going on in your body. So powerful messages. Yeah, I totally dig these messages that we are getting. So does anyone else have any cards they would like to check out for us?
Does someone else, because if someone else doesn't, I have the inner child card.
I see Dawn holding up a card, but
Dawn, go for it.
Okay, it just flew out of my hands. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Can you show the card?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is from the Mythic Tarot, and it is from Juliet Sharman Burke and Liz Green. And my focus was on the meditation last night. And what I drew was the Judgment card. And this has a big old book too. So I'll just go right to the divinatory level. And the character from the mythic times on this card is Hermes. And it says, Hermes often is portrayed as a cheat and a liar. Here, as psychopomp, he does not permit the soul to lie. Everything must be accounted for, and the fool meets at last the consequences of all his choices in life. So on a divinatory level, the card of judgment, which appears in a spread augurs a time when the rewards of past efforts appear. This is a period of summing up, of realization of what we have been doing and where we ourselves have created the future which now awaits us. It is an ambiguous card, for it can also imply disturbing confrontation with all our own evasions and self-betrayals. The reward is not always a pleasant one. The fool must now answer for his journey, for the time of harvest has arrived, and the mistakes and creative efforts of the past are gathered together to form the future. Whatever occurs to the individual in terms of experiences, the card of judgment heralds the end of a chapter in life, but unlike the card of death, it does not imply mourning. Rather, it is a clear perception of the extent to which we will be able to be true to ourselves. And that just seemed real appropriate for everything that was
Ooh,
involved for last night.
yeah. Awesome card.
And that one jumped out at me when I was shuffling the deck, so I figured it wanted to be heard.
Cool. Thank you. I took a class this morning on tarot, and it was really fascinating. We have the teacher here right now. She's joined us. So hi, Allison.
Hello.
Wonderful class that you had this morning. I appreciated it.
Thank you for helping with the technical bit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I helped Allison with the Zoom part of it. So
I've never done that online before. So yeah.
Came out really well. So
I don't know. I enjoyed it. So
yeah, did a great job on that. And I think everyone learned a lot. We got to practice on one another, and it was fun. Yeah. So thank you. So Katie, I think you said that you had a card, right?
I love the inner child cards.
Katie, you're muted. You're muted.
Oh.
Yep, there you go.
The first card that was pulled was Beauty and the Beast. And this means I was muted. I'll say this is by Isha Lerner and Mark Lerner, illustrated by Christopher Guilfoyle. In this deck, not many people use this deck, but I love it because it seems to always hit where it always makes me feel good, that's for sure. But we all know the story of the Beauty and the Beast, and the age-old lesson or moral is that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. In the traditional tarot, this card is called Strength, and it often pictures beautiful women opening the mouth of a lion. When this card appears in your reading, accept the miraculous gift of love in your life, not for what you can visibly see, but for what you can feel and know as truth. True love is available to us when we open our spirits to inner guides and dreams and dare to follow our hearts. Love is often disguised as is truth. Look beyond the mask, beyond the personality world, and beyond the surface and stereotypes. Where there is darkness, see light. Where there is pain, send healing prayers and thoughts. Where there is disharmony, sow seeds of contentment and joy. Let your warmth and magnanimity flow. When you look in the soul mirror, be thankful for the beautiful gift of divine life and eternal love. So that I pulled 3 cards, and was past, present, and future. So that was the past. That was yesterday. As far as I'm concerned, that was awesome. Do you want me to continue?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't leave us hanging.
Okay. Present is 4 of hearts. Here's the card I moved, so hopefully the light is better. And the Four of Hearts has three mermaids, and then a mermaid down on a little log with a flag. And she has to, I'm skipping a lot because of the length of these, but I'll read the first part and the last part. Sunken treasures, lost hopes, broken hearts, and tearful goodbyes are all aspects of the emotional journey one must encounter in life. And yesterday I got a big channel to look at how do you resist expressing love and receiving love. I got that, for the collective. I got that big time. Though these times are painful, the ever transforming tides of hope exist within them. A broken heart is an open heart. When we are willing to allow deep emotions to flow, there is invariably a gift of love at the other side. Sorrow brings the tidings of joy. This is the bittersweet aspect of love. And then the end is, often we cannot see the forest for the trees. Treasures that lie before us cannot be found until we are able to discover them. This card may be describing an emotional situation for you. Allow yourself the time to feel these emotions. Honor your process of introspection. With faith and hope, a new revelation will gently come forward to heal your broken heart. Becoming one with your feelings is a crucial step on the path of life. So that's present.
Well, I'd just like to touch on that real quick.
Yes.
That's the feeling that we were all feeling yesterday when we had that global meditation, and the commonality, as I mentioned, was that feeling of love that we all had, the vibration of love, whatever those intentions that we were putting out there, they were all love-based intentions. So that was a perfect card to put on there. Also on YouTube, Sonia Finch is saying that the love you withhold is the pain that you carry. That's an interesting quote from Alex Collier from the Andromedans. So yeah.
Oh yeah, and I got a big channel yesterday that, look at where your resistance is, people, because it's very, very much holding you back. Because
helping you, actually, yeah.
Flowing flowing energy of emotions is your gas pedal. You just have to navigate it appropriately.
It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity if you can look at yourself from the observer and step back and say, oh yeah, well, why didn't I see that beforehand? Right?
Exactly. And I lost my page. I'm sorry. Ray, they can hear you. Honey, they can hear you.
Is he playing the pots and pans? Is he drumming?
Yeah, sort of. Poor guy.
He's gonna start toning soon, right?
I hope. This is this is 10 of crystals. And this is the same, it's a traditional tarot, only different. So it has the little elves are all getting things ready for the tree, around the tree and in the fireplace. The little elves are very, very busy. So 10 of crystals is Christmas Day. This is the future. Carries the potential for great joy and expectations. Dreams may come true, and the rekindling of family ties and friendly sharings brings warmth and love into the home. In this card, all the stockings have been filled and a tiny one is being hung to celebrate the birth of the baby gnome. Papa Gnome lights the Yule log to promote the light and joy of this family and community gathering. All of the gifts have been opened and the children gaze in delight at the treasures they have received. The girl gnome sits on the rainbow carpet while she looks at the wondrous crystal. The day is bright, the sun is high, and the family rejoices. Let the scene in the 10 crystals warm your heart. Celebrations and festivals of all traditions bring people together. They instill a special feeling of gratitude that comes from the desire to be universally connected and loved. open to the gifts that life has in store for you. You may want to reacquaint yourself with ancient rituals and blessings that can spark new fires in your creative imagination. Your healing prayers and thoughts can uplift many people around the globe. Remember to aid the disadvantaged and homeless who may be downcast in need of a helping hand. Be thankful for all the blessings offered to you by angels, invisible helpers, and higher teachers throughout your lifetime. That's what you
Perfect.
do.
Perfect.
Yeah. How many other people, when she said dreams may come true, you were thinking of that song? It can happen to you if you're young. Maybe it was just me. I don't know.
Sweet card.
What deck is
What
that, Katie?
were their cards from again, please, Katie?
Yeah, I love that deck.
I love this deck. It's always makes me feel so good, and it's always when I do it for just myself, it seems very right on. Even when I get cards that, you know, you may think, oh, Isha Lerner, Inner Child Cards by Isha Lerner and Mark Lerner, a fairy tale tarot. A fairy tale tarot.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Those cards are perfect. I've been looking for inner child stuff like that, cards and books.
Oh, right on.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, thank you. I love your cards. I'm like, ooh, look at her cards. Are so cool.
That's the
So,
beauty. Part of the
yeah.
beauty of this, we get to check out everyone else's cards and get free sample readings and everything. It's really fun to tune into what everyone's getting.
Fabulous.
And how common they
Thank
are
you.
with, and how common they are with each other too.
And thank you, Greg, that you do this and we can do that. It's awesome.
My pleasure. Yeah.
Oh.
So I did another one. Shiny and sparkly. This is what caught my attention when I was searching for cards. I saw the shiny sparkly box. I'm like, oh, I got to get that. So anyway, it's the Animal Spirit by Kim Kranz. And I always pay attention whenever we get back-to-back cards. We had this last week in the tarot with the Magician, as above, so below, right? Well, everything that's going on down here, it's getting magnified up there. So the turtle, though, this is our card again. Last time I did this, we got the turtle. So pay attention, right? So this is an ancient soul, grounded, trusting, at home in the self, within, right? It is wonderful to be in the presence of a turtle personality like the beaver. The turtle has a strong relationship with the earth and water elements simultaneously. This helps to ground and connect them to the deeper truths in life, no matter where their travels may lead them. Okay. Turtle energy is behind all great writers and storytellers as they collect life experiences under their shells for later use. The most potent turtle energy helps us close all the other books and begin to tell our own true tale. Once again, the meaning I get out of this, again, is to stand in your vibration of truth, love, and light, no matter what anyone else is saying around you. You know, people, 9 out of 10 people might be saying, you do this. All the fish in the sea might be going this way, but if you're feeling to go that way, you go that way, right? Listen to yourself. Your vibration of truth, love, and light is the only thing that matters. Listen to it. It never lets you down. So, Michelle,
Yes.
are you
Screw the other
shuffling?
fish,
Do you have
man.
another card? Does anyone else have a card? Look at all
I'll
you.
pick a card.
Yay. Do it.
As you know, I can't just pick one.
Uh-huh.
I'll pick a few.
Good. Thank you.
Okay. So what do you want this to be? Not directed at anybody, just kind of what's happening, because I'm new here.
Well, in general, what we kind of do is like a group reading. So what the group energy, whatever that might be, what you're feeling. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Okay, so the cards I've got this is the Cosmic deck by Norbert Loesch. This is reuniting with people of familiar characters and people with the same energies, the same vision for the future. So I feel that people are brought together for spiritual upliftment for themselves and for others when they can't find it closely. There's always a spiritual family that usually draws people together. This card indicates that sometimes we're supposed to be perfect. We're supposed to always be living in rules and regulations and things, and sometimes that's not always easy, and it makes us upset sometimes to do that. And that one is basically indicating deal with it. And I agree with Greg, follow your truth. As long as you're not hurting anybody, then why not do what you need to do in life? So
Awesome.
Allison, what does the 3 swords mean?
It's the deal with it card. It's like go to the heart of the matter and deal with that. So it's the most sarcastic card in tarot. So it's where we keep procrastinating and saying, I will do this and I will do this, and then not do it. So yeah.
Thank you, Allison. Appreciate that. Sweet. Okay. So does anyone else have a card they would like to share? I think it sounds like Michelle, you're shuffling or something over there.
I wanted to pull out another animal card too.
Okay, and then I see after that I see Nathan. I see you with your hand up. We'll get.
That's okay. He can go ahead. He can go ahead.
All right, bring it on, Nathan. You're on.
Yeah, thanks. I have 2 things to share. Actually, I don't have cards, but I have this really beat up book. Actually.
No, we can't do that. You have to have cards.
No way, man.
No, I'm kidding.
It's a really cool one, actually. The last one was more relevant to me. Like the procrastination thing was great. The first thing was I've been procrastinating on working on these stones, so I've been working on getting them all wrapped up and stuff. So doing a piece of halite with some blue wrapped wire around it. I like copper. And then this is a really awesome book. This is one of my first books. It's daily meditations on spiritual and enlightenment texts and different amazing lots of different quotes, and it does it by day. So every week there's a certain virtue, and you can see different virtues. And I was looking at the one for today. I honestly, like, the days have been going on so fast. I don't know what day it was. I thought it was the 6th, but I'm looking at my date. I'm like, it's not the 6th. Like, so I read the wrong one to myself, and I have to go back. So today is the virtue of respect. It says April 5th. It says, who cannot love herself cannot love anybody. Who is ashamed of her body is shameful of all life. Who cannot respect the gifts even before birth can never respect anything fully. And that's by Annie Cameron. And there's a second one here. We do not possess our homes, our children, or even our own body. They are given to us for a short while to treat with care and respect, by Jack Cornfield. And there's always like a quote or a question or an affirmation at the very end. It says, how respectfully do I care for my body? And when I first read this one, which was yesterday, thinking it was the 5th yesterday, that was when I went to bed like way too late, and like I woke up way too late after that, and I just didn't feel good. So all of the things that were saying to me, how I interpreted that was, I just need to take care of myself a lot better. And throughout this whole conversation, a lot of the signs have been telling me to do a lot of that. And it's a lot about care in this, because if we don't have care for our bodies, how can we continue to love each other in a more, expressive way?
Let's go out. Sorry.
Yeah. And, there's another thing that synchronistically couldn't get onto the call earlier in the week, but last Sunday, which is a week ago, I had a very prophetic dream, which is very odd because I don't usually remember these dreams, two dreams at the same time, at the same sleep cycle. One was one I'm going to share, was where I was in a room where it felt like a corporate office or a broadcasting station of some sort. And there were three people that I knew. One of them was my partner, my brother, and then one person from a spiritual center of mine that I'm local to. We were all looking at something where it was a screen, but I don't remember seeing any screens that were active or anything like that. The next thing that happened, everyone jumps up in excitement and everyone decides to just scream, shout. Like I was doing the same thing. We were all getting really excited, and then somehow I was seeing numbers on a board turn to like bright green, all these green signs of numbers all over the place, and I just felt like I was free. Like either I was free, we were free, everyone was excited, and I felt that we did it, and that means like we were free, the entire universe or the entire globe is free, like we defeated the evil, and the feeling of that freedom was felt in the dream. I woke up smiling and I'm like, did I really have that dream? Like, and
Wait. Oh, all right, time out.
Yeah.
Time out. So you said you saw this, the green and the numbers. I'm looking at your shirt. I'm seeing green with the number 11 on there. Right at the top, right?
It's the tarot card, actually. You can see it. You can see the number, justice card.
Yeah, that's actually Libra for me. That's the
there you
Libra
go.
card, right?
There you go.
That's funny.
Yeah, and I felt like those numbers represented the stock market, increasing, and we weren't all in a depression anymore, and we defeated this thing. So it was like everything was now back to normal or even better. I feel like that, and it wasn't like the dream didn't tell me the solution. It didn't tell me what was actually happening, but it like the feeling that we were all freed, the feeling that humanity finally could breathe and I can get to wherever I want to do with no responsibility to, I have my responsibilities to live, but I have my responsibilities to, bring out my purpose, what I'm here for, and help people do the same and love each other. The thing that I'm taking away from that is, in most circles of manifestation, one would be told to think of the thing not in the form of like, oh, it's gonna happen this way sort of thing. It's more like feel it as it's already happened. And so if I continuously remember that dream in my visualizations and meditations, like as it already happened, and that feeling is just it's right there. Like I can't believe it happened. I'm glad to finally share it, and glad to calls. It's been good to see everyone also helping each other with the cards, as well as on weekly calls during the day. I jump on the chat group sometimes, but I'm not available to actually go on to the calls. So it's really cool to talk to see that. So.
Cool. I also wonder if that had something to do with the Federal Reserve getting eaten up by the Treasury. They're now under the Treasury. So I'm wondering if that's tied together.
It was the other day. It was in my dream too. We had a huge victory. We were all congratulating each other. And everybody, we were like, we did it. I was there too. And I also have a feeling we reached a critical mass on Earth of light. I think it has something to do with the critical mass that's been reached. But that dream was real. I had that too, and I woke up the same way. And it was the other day, a few days ago.
Yeah, like it was last Sunday for me.
It was, yeah. I guess there was a lot of like galactic guardians too that I recognized a few energies from my other dreams that we work with, us people, us star seeds that I've known, and we were celebrating hardcore, and we're celebrating.
Yeah.
And India celebrated for some reason at 9 p.m. My friend Meenakshi in India sent me a video that their prime minister said, everybody, they're on lockdown, but they said, everybody go outside at 9 p.m. for 9 minutes and have fun. and she sent me a video, and the lights have to be off. All the lights in their house had to be off, they said, I guess. So people had little flashlights and red lights, and they were running, screaming, celebrating, like, woohoo! They were all out their windows, like big buildings, and everybody was out the window celebrating. It was like party. It was weird. That was last night.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
think-
awesome that you guys shared the same dream too. You're both pulling from the ether, similar ideas and thought processes.
It's real. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
happening right now outside the earth. There's many people outside the earth watching, and we in our dreams, some of us, a lot of us, we go and we talk to each other. Those are our family. And we're on earth and they're out there, and we're helping each other, I guess, doing different jobs. But we did do something the other day, something big. We, as a planet, we did something. I don't really know what.
As above,
Sunday-
so below.
Sunday and
Yeah.
Monday, you guys, Sunday and Monday, I had a different kind of dreams, but the same alignment where the mass, that the collective had reached a mass agreement to move up, to move on. It was very
That's huge.
cool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. What a great
Does
message.
anybody know the Schumann resonance
Yes.
for meditation? What was that?
70, well, it started out at 40 and it peaked at 76. And that's
And
what I'm celebrating. Yay!
Okay, so that's very high, I'm assuming.
It is.
Yeah,
That's
we're looking at it
scale.
right here. I brought it up earlier. Yeah, 76 was the peak. During the peak Schumann resonance, during the global mass meditation, we did peak at 76, right about that time right there. And here's the current one. Let's do a refresh though. Let me refresh this, see what we get. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yes. Okay. So looking good. You can see all the white right there for
And
the,
how does that affect the Schumann resonance affect the earth as daily life? Like, does it cause more like friction in the air, or I don't know, is more, I don't know, maybe I'm just assuming like maybe this should be like a time thing. We should raise the vibrations like, more frequently.
I agree. I agree 100%. There's going to be another meditation on April 22nd. We all should join in that one. Too.
oh, another 444. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when it ends, isn't it? That's when,
Yeah.
when the
Yeah, that's the
portal
gate.
closes.
Somebody has said that we've opened up a portal and it closes on 422.
Okay, we'll have to
What
have
I'd
another
like to say-
pre meditation party here.
Yeah.
Wild animals are said to be very, very much more friendly since the Schumann's been getting so strong.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You see in the news all the time about like a mother animal approaching a human to help with its babies. I've seen like 10 or 15 stories in the past 6 months about that. So yeah. Yes.
Yeah, well, you mentioned the animals. I am totally into the wildlife, and I've always been more about helping the fur kids than humans. I mean, I'm an only child. I was adopted as a very young kid, so I've always been able to relate to the animals better than humans. And the animals are so sensitive. They know what's going on. They really do. And excuse me. And to speak directly to Katrina, the mental telepathy thing going on through the universe is so powerful right now. Humans are finally getting it together. They're finally learning that mental telepathy, it's just like prayer. It's, if you can pray to God, why can't you talk to the universe? Why can't you talk to the animals? And, when I came out here to live with the wildlife, we use mental telepathy for everything. I mean, we've learned to talk to the animals by talking to them without actually talking to them. I mean, I can sit here in my front yard and I can look it over. We have 3 coyote pups here. Wow. And I can talk to them with mental telepathy, and they know what I'm saying. I can talk to them and relate to them, and it works. And mental telepathy, I've learned to gain my strength to use that not only with humans but with animals as well. I grew up with animals, so I communicate better with the critters than I do humans. But I have found now that I'm learning how to better communicate with humans by just using mental telepathy. So, and Katrina, I can totally relate to what you're saying, and keep working mental telepathy because it's so powerful. It's just like prayer. If you, those of you that believe in God, if you believe in God, if you created God, is that not a form of mental telepathy? I mean, is that not it's the same thing. So if you can do that praying to God, you can do that with the gods and goddesses and the universe, and especially the animals, especially the animals. They will hear you. They will respond. Try it. That's all I can say. But yeah, thank you for sharing that.
On YouTube, Claudette is saying that the animals are filling the streets since the humans are inside. And I think that many of us have seen those pictures of like all the deer that are just like lined up on the streets and stuff. There's a picture of a woman who's in her kitchen and there's a bear like on her porch, like leaning over, looking in the house. Yeah, so the nature is just like
they're checking on us to make sure we're okay, you know.
Yeah,
right?
Never.
Yeah.
The only thing I can say to humans, the only thing I can say to the humans is never, never, never underestimate their intelligence. Never underestimate that they can understand you. Talk to them. Talk to them, whether it's out loud or using, telepathy. They understand you. They can hear you. And even though they can't speak our language, we can speak their language. And the way we speak their language is through telepathy. I mean, you can talk to any wildlife. I don't care if you're out hiking, you run into a bear or a bobcat, mountain lion, whatever, talk to them. I've never been able to stress that hard enough. I'm a big animal advocate, blah, blah, blah. But all I'm saying is everything that happened last night when I woke up at 4:44 and the wolves were howling, the coyotes were howling, everybody, they get it. They get it. They know what's going on. Don't treat your pet, your cat, your dog, don't treat them like they're idiots. They know what's going on. And Michelle, you have a cat.
Oh yeah.
Talk to your cat. You don't have to talk to them in English. You don't have to. Just use your telepathy. You can talk to them using mental telepathy. They get it. They totally
My cat
get it.
visits me in my dreams.
Oh my God. And and that's what gets me. That's the only problem I have with humans not respecting the wildlife is because they don't understand how to communicate with the wildlife. That's where I come in because that's all I do. I talk to the animals, even my dog, even though I talk to him out loud, I still use mental telepathy. Even in my dreams, we talk to each other and, he gets it. He knows what's going on. Animals know we're in trouble. They know we're in trouble. And that's also why more animals are coming into the cities. They're coming into the towns. They're coming to your garbage cans. They know what's going on. They know this planet is in trouble. And so we need to learn how to better communicate with the animals. So don't ever, 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 ever underestimate the intelligence of these animals. Talk to them. Even if you're afraid of them, don't be afraid of them. There's nothing to be afraid of them. They know if you're afraid of them. They know if you don't like animals. They know if you're scared of bears and this, that, and the other. I've never ever in my entire life, I'm an only child, like I said before. I'm an only child. And I've always talked to the animals through telepathy. I would talk to them through my mind's eyes, and I would just say, I'm your friend. And even out loud, I would tell them, I'm not here to hurt you. I'm your friend. Let me help you. And it is once they understand that you're no threat to them, they will learn to trust you. They do. They all have. I've got elk running through the yard, eating on my yard. Nobody's afraid of me, and I'm not afraid of them. I mean, even these bull elks come walking through the yard, and they come sticking their head in my window, and I just feed them some lettuce or whatever. I don't give them bread. They can't have bread or spices or anything like that because it will give them bloat. But I mean, give them what they would normally eat, and they'll be your friends for life. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And Michelle, you and your cat, let your cat pick the cards. I bet she
has, yeah, she has once before. She'll sit there and play with them, and I'll usually pick it up to look at it. So yeah.
Michelle, I haven't forgotten about you. It's time.
I know.
Yeah.
I wanted to share something when you started talking about the whole animals thing, right? I remember yesterday I came back from the store, and we have a neighborhood cat outside. She's really friendly and she loves people, but she does not want to come in people's house. She'll maybe come in for 10 minutes or so, and she wants to go right back out. She don't want to stay in the house. So I was talking to her yesterday outside, and I was sitting in my car before I got out, like I'm always doing.
Animals know.
I happened to look over and saw in the tire wheel of my neighbor's car, there was a squirrel sitting there, and it made this little noise. And I was just looking, and I was like, oh, I see you. And it stared at me for a few minutes. And then here comes another one up underneath it and was looking at me. And I was like, oh, okay, I see you. I'm not going to hurt you. And they just took off. So I just found that really cute. And I just laughed.
Animals, no. It's like, one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid was Dr. Dolittle. And it's like, my parents always thought, that's our daughter. She's another Dr. Dolittle. And I used to laugh and joke about it. And then Phil had mentioned, when Phil had mentioned about the owls are aware. They know. The owls acknowledged him. Duh. It's like
wisdom. Mm-hmm.
We need to start paying more attention to the animals of the planet. They know 45 minutes before there's an earthquake in your area. They know when a tsunami's coming. They know when a tornado. I mean, we've had many tornadoes up here, and we don't have any sirens. But the animals, the whole forest will start howling and going crazy 45 minutes before a sandstorm or a tornado, anything. Humans need to start paying more attention to the animals. They know what's going on. And I think that's one thing I don't get along with humans about, is because they don't pay attention to the animals and the wildlife going on around us. And I think if we started communicating more with the animals, I mean, we could come together a lot better in harmony, to understand each other, to work together with each other. Pay attention to your dog. Pay attention to your cat. Listen to what they're saying. Even if you're not quite sure, even though they can't talk, they can talk. They can talk. The point is, you need to learn to understand them better. And once we learn to understand them better, we'll all be survivors.
I totally agree, man.
They're trying to teach us how to survive. They are trying to help us survive as well as we survive. It's like, Mom, listen.
I'm gonna go. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm gonna go. My phone has 7%. My dog, okay. I have to feed my dog and take him out, and I have to start dinner. So I wanted to share this before I left.
And remember, your pets can eat what you eat. If you're running low on dog food, your pets can eat what you eat, as long as it's not spicy and that sort of stuff. But your pets, if you're broke, and you know a lot of you that are laid off, your pets can eat what you eat. Remember that.
Thank you.
Hey, Michelle, 7%. Get her done.
It's 6 now. So, but it's the elephant, and it's leadership. It says there's a time to step forward and lead, and it is now. Be the leader in your own life. If you want something achieved, take the lead example. Be the example that others will follow. Do not lead by force, but inspired by inspiration. That what you said earlier, and one of the other times you said when the crowd's going this way, you go that way. You go your own way, Greg.
Yes. Yes.
Says the magic. I skipped the whole. They talk about the Hindu god Ganesh. The magic of this is the elephant magic is powerful yet calm. It can be used when you wish to have obstacles removed or to move out of a limbo situation. Elephants are wise and take leadership, which is where the magic is so effective. If you wish to become a better leader, or at least a wiser one, or you would like to attract such a person into your life, ask for the elephant to lend her energy to you. And that's it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate
Michelle.
everyone here, and I love you guys. Thank you.
We love you too. Thank you.
You're welcome. Everyone enjoy your day.
You know, we were talking about animals. This is my German Shepherd, Sammy. You know, I showed you a picture before of him as a puppy. When he sat under there, that he picked that. And he also picked that to lay there, right there. That's where he would lay. They know the energy of the pyramid. There's a picture, if you type in on a Google search or a Bing image search, you can find one of a deer doing the same thing. Somebody put a pyramid outside, and a deer just came up out of nature and laid underneath that pyramid. So they know that energy.
Thank you. Bye.
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 This is great.
Family gathering.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
I just want to add one thing. Not only can you talk to the animals, you can talk to the trees. You just have to listen a little longer, because they're a little slow in talking to you, but they will talk to you.
Well, yeah. You know, I told that story about my spirit guide being Tamara, and Tamara means palm tree. So she literally talked to me.
Yeah, especially the things that are going on right now. We need to start paying more attention of the animals in the forest and in your yard. Pay attention to the birds. Pay attention to the squirrels. You know, any stray cats, any stray dogs, coyotes, wherever may be traveling through your neighborhood. Pay attention. I just ask that please do not harm them. I mean, whatever strange animal that you don't normally see in your neighborhood, all of a sudden you got a bear or you got a bobcat or somebody going through your yard, please do not hurt them, because all they're doing is looking for food. That's it. They just want to survive like us. They're not out there to harm you. They're not out there hunting humans. They're out looking for food and to survive the same as you and I are. And so, and yeah, the elk, the deer, everybody out there is looking to survive and nothing more. So if you see a wild animal that you don't normally see in your neighborhood, take that as a hint. You see a wild animal driving across in front of you on the road, slow down, pay attention. Does this animal need help? I mean, it's a signal. It's a sign. They're simply trying to tell us they need help too, as much as we do. I mean, we're not in this alone. This is global. This is universal. This is about the whole planet. It's not just about humans. It involves everybody. Anything that lives and breathes, bleeds is about survival. And I just, and I love this channel because, everybody shares their feelings, but I'm more into the animal thing. And because I see what's going on out here, I can see what's happening. And for those folks that live in the city, they see a coyote or a wolf or a wild dog or somebody running through the yard, it automatically, sparks fear. Why? These animals are just trying to survive like you and me, nothing more. And if they look at you, they stop and they look at you, try to read them, try to talk to them, you know, ask them, what can you do to help? 9 times out of 10, it's just food. They're just hungry. They just want to survive and nothing more. That's basically it. They just want to be able to find food and shelter like you and I. And that's it.
On the In5D YouTube channel, I have a video. I brought it up one time. I'll show it to you guys right now, but just real quick, I'm not going to play the video, but you guys can check it out, and I'll leave a link in the more info section of this video on YouTube. But yeah, I was living in upstate New York, and my bedroom was on the 2nd story. And then all of a sudden, I wake up and I hear this rustling in my bedroom. There was a woodchuck in there, and he came in through the basement. So he had to climb up through the basement steps and then the first floor steps and then come into my bedroom to finally give me that message. And what was the message? Well, what do woodchucks do? They hibernate, right? So it was transformation. It was a message of transformation. So yeah, WTF, there's a woodchuck in my bedroom. I'll leave a link for that. And then anytime an unusual animal comes into my life, like for example, it wasn't even unusual, but it was the number of them. I had a conference here in Sarasota. It was a superpowers conference, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. And we took a break and we went outside, and there were all these crows, an inordinate amount of crows flying around. And so that's the first thing I did was I looked up the meaning. What's up with all these crows? And yet again, you can find a meaning for it that I found, and it was transformation yet again. So I seem to have this affinity for bringing in transformative animals. So, but you got to pay attention to those that are going on around you.
Yeah, you really do. And the thing I wanted to mention, I said up here, we don't have tornado alarms. We don't have snowstorm alarms. We don't have any kind of alarms of any kind. The only alarms that we have are the ravens. The ravens, every single time before a thunderstorm, a monsoon, any kind of storm, they'll start circling. And I have videos on my YouTube. I'd be happy to share my YouTube channel anytime to show you what happened last summer right before a monsoon storm. We had over 100 ravens, and not crows. The crows are in Illinois where I used to live. The ravens out here, we call them Navajo chickens because they're so big. I mean, they're huge. They're the size of a small dog. They're major big. But out here during any storm, the ravens will start circling 45 minutes before a major storm. The wolves will start howling before an earthquake or any major storm. I mean, that is our support system. That is our life support system. There are alarms. I mean, we don't need tornado alarms. The wildlife is our alarms, and they signal us every time something is getting ready to happen. And I have dozens of videos on my personal YouTube channel to prove that. And I love them all. And I always videotape them. They're awesome animals. And they're smart. Oh my God, they're smart.
So Desiree, did I see that you had your hand up?
I have 5 cards that jumped out of the Angel Inspiration deck by Kim Dyer. So earlier when everybody was talking about transformation and things happening, so all these cards are feminine energies, except for Gabriel. He came out saying, you know, oh, okay, so I'm gonna have to get the book out. I was reading it for a little bit. So he's the strength of God. Gabriel's strength and guidance will assist you to understand where you need to put your focus in order to follow your purpose. He will help you gain clarity over your thoughts, and in order for you to take the necessary action to fulfill your life purpose and to bring positive results in your life. So this will help inspire artists and writers, and it helps you to communicate your truths and others with compassion and confidence. So Archangel Gabriel is coming in at this time to, you know, bring the water in and let your truths come out and start going into your artistic expression of who you really are as a being, and find out who you are. That way, that card number was number 3. Number 18 is trust the flow. That no matter what happens in life, energies are going to happen. So this is time for you to trust the flow. You know, call on to Archangel Gabriel to help you clear out the energy that no longer persists to you. Trust the flow. Honor life cycles. Come into that perspective where, you know, every single, you know, life cycle matters. Just like Dawn was talking about, the animals, the creatures. Things are happening for a reason. And there's a butterfly right on here, and this means transformation. So honor the cycles of life that are actually happening at this time. That's number 28. Number 29 came out. Embrace the change. There's so much happening at this time, you know, and it's time for you to, you know, honor the life cycles, embrace the change that's happening right now, you know, because you can't stop this energy from happening. It's going to happen no matter what. And, you know, during that embracing the change, embracing the energy that's coming upon, we're actually having a full moon in Aries, I believe. If correct me if not, Phil, you could probably relay that, knowing you. This is also another number where it's number 30. She's coming out and saying, be content with the energy that's coming up. That's a peacock energy. So embracing who you are and everything that's coming up. You know, there's a lot of childlike energies that are coming up for a lot of people. So this is time for you to go back into your childhood energy, not like the triggers and everything, but being a child, you know, trapped in a house. This is time for, you know, when you're told to go to your bedroom, what would you do? Would you create things? Would you play your guitar? Play your, you know, instruments? Go do some art type of thing, you know, and then that will help your time flow a little bit easier. So with the trust the flow, there's the earth right here. You can see there's the earth right here, and there's actually a vortex that's open right here. So there's a lot of energy that's coming up with earth, and it's falling into that cycle, you know, where it says honor life cycle. So honor everything you know that's coming your way. And everybody's correcting me saying Libra full moon. So I'm not an astronomer. I don't do the astrology stuff. So just lay it on whoever else can do that. But I just did cards. So trust within yourself. Trust the universe. Things are going to happen no matter what. Just sit back, relax, meditate, and enjoy. Use your creative energy. You know, things are going to happen, my friend.
That's awesome.
What deck is that? What deck is that?
Angel Inspiration deck by Kim Dreyer.
They're beautiful. I like
yes,
those.
They are. She's a good artist.
Really
I like
nice.
go with the flow. Yeah, going with the flow, and just we've already done the work for the most part. You know, here we are, especially after that global meditation last night. Most of the work's been done. The process of moving forward is steamrolling at an exponential rate. So just enjoy the ride. Go with the flow. Definitely. So, Sonia, you haven't said anything yet. Yeah, I'm calling you out. You going to join us?
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. You're going to play us a song? I see a piano behind you.
Oh, I haven't managed to link it up to the Mac yet. I'm still trying to work it
I was going
out.
to say, hey, we'll jam. I'll grab my guitar and we'll jam out.
Yeah, maybe another time. I'm a bit shy. I got this card, which is the dog, which sort of relates to what the other lady was talking about. And it's all about loyalty as well as friendship and finding your pack. So I thought that was a lovely card. And I also got the King, which is all about law and justice, you know, things being put right, which I thought was lovely. And the last card I got was the Serpent card, which is all about healing and, you know, sort of using your gifts and so forth. But this is from the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle card pack. So it's by Colette Baron Reed. Okay.
Nice.
There you go. Nice. I wanted to just say about animals and sort of they're always communicating with us. You can see my name is Finch, and I've always had a strong connection with birds. And I, over a period of 5 years, when I had this very long commute, which would take an hour and a half, and I used to sort of take note where the birds were when I was going to work. And I used to get these little messages, and I think, okay, all right, well, I had a bad day yesterday, and they were on the right-hand side. Today they're on the left. Let's see how it goes. And over a period of time, I built up some information about what it means. And what I came to the conclusion was, if you see a bird, like a pigeon, which is all about goals, on the left-hand side, that means that that goal will go really well. If it goes on the right-hand side, that means it probably won't work out. It won't, you know, if you're going to the shop looking for something, it probably won't be there. And I've always found it's been spot on. So if it's up, sort of that's my little helper behind me. If it's sort of up above you, then it's a higher goal, more spiritual goal. And if it's, say, they're blocking you as you're driving, then they're saying, you've got to stop a minute. Something's going to block you today from doing what you want to do. So you need a fallback plan. So that's what I've learned over the years.
What messages do you get from your Piscean fish over there?
Piscean fish. Feed me mostly.
Feed me. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to like meditate to them or use your telepathy and try to talk to them?
Yeah, but it is funny because I could be sitting the other side of the room. It's quite a big room. This is just my studio area. Mm-hmm. But if I sit the other side of the room, I can see they're talking to somebody, like to a spirit, and they'll all come up to the tank. They'll be looking at this one person that's in spirit standing in front of them, probably teasing them, pretending they've got food in front of them. And
that's fascinating.
And they do come out of the tank when I see they do come out in ether and float around.
Yeah,
there.
That's awesome. Hey, little introvert.
Yeah.
I know exactly how you feel. I know that was me when I was a kid. When I was a kid. Oh, gosh.
Me too.
Quick shout out to Phil Christophers and to Crypnosis on YouTube. Thank you for the super chats. Greatly appreciated. Yeah, I can definitely relate. Shy, introverted at that age, and some things never change.
Yeah, she's very sensitive. You know, when she was born, well, no, about 2 months after she was born, I walked past the bedroom where she was sleeping, and I could hear a little voice chatting away to somebody in English, full English. And I went into the room and it just stopped. And I thought, this is so weird. And then I was out. My mum was looking after my daughter, and exactly the same thing happened. She said she was talking to somebody in full English.
What do you mean by full English?
Like proper sentences, full English. She was only 2 months. And yeah, and my mum went in there and she just stopped. And she was only 2 months old. So she came with all the gifts. She's very, yeah.
So has she explained to you, does she still see that person? And has she explained to you perhaps who that might be?
No. She says, no, Mummy, my gifts are all gone. But you see, they're still there. It's just, I think, because the school's dulled them down.
Yeah.
Ever since she's gone to school, it's changed. And I'm quite glad in a way, because it was, it was a bit of a problem at times. But yeah, but school does tend to knock them back a bit. But she does.
Isn't that the exact opposite of what school should do? Shouldn't school be building those gifts up? And
oh, she's told it's all a load of rubbish and there's no such thing as spirits. So there we are.
yeah,
That's what they
that's
do.
awesome. Hey, sweetie, I see you.
Supposed to be in bed, but she keeps coming out. She loves it when you.
Oh, that's true. It's pretty. It's like 11:30 there.
I know, she's so naughty.
Yeah.
We're all homeschooling now in the UK, so
Yeah.
she'll have to be up at 8 to do her lessons.
I think it's pretty much worldwide that they're homeschooling right now.
Yeah, yeah. Hard
So
work.
that's not so hard coming on here and chatting, is it?
Well,
No. Did a good job. Thank you.
and to you.
Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing.
God bless everyone.
Mm-hmm. So
It's disappeared now.
yeah. Yeah. Now that the attention's not on you, she'll come out and start.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
she'll give us a reading.
Well, she did have one, but she's like put the cards away now. Don't know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Can't remember what you did. Go on then. Go on then, Aisha. There you are.
Huh?
Can you come out? No. Come on.
I don't think it's happening. And that's okay. We won't pressure her this time. But the next time, the only way you can come on is if she gives us a reading.
You got the book. You got the book.
I'm not serious. I'm kidding.
Okay. This is Sign from Above.
Did she pick that?
Sign from Above. Can you see it?
Yeah. Did she pick that?
Yeah, she did. And it's from the Saints and Angels cards. Let's just have a look. Right, it says heaven is sending you blessings and answers in the form of signs in the physical world, and these are messages that you see or hear repetitively. This card asks you to pay extra attention to signs as they're part of the answer to your question. Notice anything that you see or hear 3 or more times. For instance, if several people recommend the same book, movie or class to you, that's a sign. And observe unusual occurrences such as an angel-shaped cloud or clusters of butterflies. Pay attention to items with a special significance, such as a loved one's favourite song playing on the radio or a flower that you associate with a particular person or event. There you go.
Yeah. How many times do you get a message? You turn on the radio and it's the exact song you need to hear, or that song pops into your head that you haven't heard in 30 years, and it's not even your genre of music, but it comes in and it has this message that's intended just for you.
That's right. I had a really weird thing happen a little while ago. I was listening to Jordan Maxwell and he said something, I can't remember what it was, but it was really quite spot on. And all of a sudden the hot tap came on in the bathroom. I just heard it turn on, and I knew, obviously, we were hot. We were very, very warm at least.
Yeah. Very cool. So just a quick shout out to Sharon Hartley. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. On YouTube. So Heather, what's going on with you?
I have a little bit of break in between clients, so I'm just thought I would join, and I'm happy to hear what everybody's saying. I feel recharged today. I think that you've mentioned a few times the vegetarian diet with Andy Monk, and I stopped procrastinating, and I picked up the phone and I called, and he happened to be like broken down on the side of the road in Utah. And so he had time to talk to me. And, it can be really boring while you're waiting for the tow truck. So I was glad to, hopefully be, be valuable time for him as well, not to sit there by himself. But so we talked, and like I feel recharged again. And I know, like, I really hear what you're having to say, like, sitting in our truth, because I work as a therapist, so I give a lot. I have a lot to say to people about giving them hope and stuff. But when I get on here, I'm like, I need to fill myself up with all of what you have to say. So I was kind of struggling with that, like wanting to be, then that's about ego, wanting to have that wisdom, but, this is just what I am. This is what I need. And I don't like Bo was saying, don't make excuses for, don't have to, come to explain yourself. But yeah, I'm trying to sit in my truth. I was dipping into depression yesterday, and, because I really, like, as a therapist, I'm dealing with like 30 clients. I love my work. But I'm dealing with like 30 people a week, and what it's like for them to be inside with themselves and with their family. And so this is just like food for me. Like, this show is food for me, and it's just really turned my life around. So I really appreciate what everybody has to say, and the fact that you provide this platform for us, Greg. I really appreciate it.
Oh,
So
my
I feel
pleasure.
recharged today. And I've had like apples and dates today. I had a little bit of coffee. I had to, and but I feel much better. So thank you.
Do you know, I don't even know how to make a pot or a cup of coffee. I have no idea. I've never made either in my life.
Really?
Never.
Wow.
Yeah. So, did you find any answers from Andy when you guys had that conversation? Did he help
Yeah.
you through a few things?
Yeah, there was another person on here that had been talking about similar symptoms, and like really just like that confirmation of like sometimes the medical, Western medicine really doesn't know what they're, and here I'm a mental health professional too, like we don't always know, like they don't know what they're talking about sometimes, like, and so that was confirmation, like the fruit diet really kind of really, he was like, really powering up, how you can like really create a light body with the food that you're taking in. If the fruit is ripe and it's ready to go, like he was saying, like they flash, like he orders fruit that's picked when it's ripe, is flash froze, they flash freeze it, and then they can have it sent to your house, and then, he's talking about these smoothies he's doing. It just sounded like it really is the next step for me, really, to create a lighter body and be closer to Creator and the divine and all that we've been working for, so.
I find what he says really fascinating. And for those watching that haven't seen it, there's 2 interviews that I had with Andy Monks. So check that out on the In5D YouTube channel. Also, if you haven't subscribed, click that subscribe button, bell notification, so you get alerted of videos like this. The thing I found though about, and give us a thumbs up too, if you feel so inclined. What I found out through my own experiences with Andy and the fruitarian diet is I can't do it as a full-time diet. I saw this, I think I forgot what the guy's name was, Raw something, but this guy looked anorexic. He looked like he had AIDS. His arms are like teeny tiny little toothpicks, and he's living as a fruitarian. And I'm thinking, I kind of like having, I know I got a little extra chunk to me right now, but I'd rather have a little extra chunk than look that sickly. And but I do like what happens when you do the fruitarian diet. Number one, you're cleansing your body. You're giving your body a total detox, and that's great. You're resetting a lot of your body too. It's giving it a total reset. You're going to lose weight on top of it. So it's like a win-win-win kind of deal. But as a lifetime kind of thing, no, I can't do that. I'm still going to have a burger. I'm still going to want pizza,
Yeah.
So, Yeah.
You're going to go off the wagon, you're going to have cravings, or you're going to decide to eat other food. And so, you know, you don't spend, like, if you do that, like, you know, don't worry about it so much and just try to get back on the fruit mountain. He called it the fruit mountain, you know, go for fruit, you know, a little bit more. And he's like, eventually, like, you kind of move into that, you know, but I mean, it's great to have his service and be able to have him guide me through that, you know. And so,
if I can remember, I'll just put a link to both of those videos in the more info section of this video, and maybe people can check that out. I know that, you know, for these videos, you were mentioning how a lot of times you don't even come on. You're just like stalking over on YouTube. You don't even come on and talk, you know. But you know, a lot of people do that. But also, a lot of people have told me that what they end up doing is, you know, in the event that they're unable to catch the chat live, what they'll do is they'll play it when they go to sleep, and they'll probably end up falling asleep to it, probably during my monologue in the beginning. That usually puts people to sleep. But after that, you know, just listening to the video will put, you know, even if you're sleeping, you're still absorbing what's going on. So it's probably a good thing, I would imagine. But yeah, and they're all lined up on the In5D channel, where you can find a playlist of all of them. So that's hours upon hours. Man, we should have how cool would this be? An In5D TV station, right? And we have like a psychic section and channeler section and yeah, oracle cards, and just do that like 24/7. How much fun would that be?
That would be great. I mean,
let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, let's put that intention out there. You know, we can get an In5D channel, TV channel, and just have all sorts of cool people on here, and this would be your kind of entertainment. And the commercials would be like, hey, you know, I've got tarot, you know, lessons. You can get tarot lessons, or someone's got some beautiful artwork. You can go to this. Yeah, it'd be positive stuff. You know, commercials. You'd be like, hey, I dig these commercials. You know, that'd be fun and great. Yeah, I could see that happening.
That's awesome. Yeah, Andy also does eye readings, I guess, on animals as well. So
iridology, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So that was interesting. You know, big shout out for animals.
Yeah, how cool is that? If you can look at the iris and pupil of an animal, there you can break it down into all these tiny little quadrants all around the eye, and find out specifically what the ailment is on not only people but animals as well, without them having to say a thing.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah. So, Spiritborn, James, what's up?
Yeah, I just wanted to share. You were talking about Andy Monk's and, you know, the fruitarian diet. Yeah, I tried it for a few days. I don't think I could do that like in an indefinite period of time. But what I have done since those videos is about half of my food intake is fruit and vegetables, and mostly fruit, because I had like kale and other stuff. And then I eat a lot of peppers and stuff, and I find I eat a lot less meat. I really don't want it, you know? I just want those fresh veggies and fresh fruit, you know? And it's like, so that video helped me a lot just to make the adjustment, but I couldn't do the full, but he brought a lot of knowledge into my life. I feel a lot better. I have a lot more energy. I'm losing a little weight, you know?
Good. Yeah, a couple other things that I found as a benefit of being, at least going fruitarian for one straight week, was, you know, I've had elevated blood pressure, probably led to my heart attack last year. And my blood sugar was elevated. It was pushing like 115, 120s, like pre-diabetic. But ever since I started that, it rebooted my system, where my blood pressure dropped, and so did my blood sugar. My blood sugar went all the way down to like 84 at one point, which is fantastic. So yeah, I highly recommend, if you are looking to give your system a reboot, do it for a week, see what happens. Heck yeah. So anyone else want to jump in? Or are we going to wrap it up? I'll stay on as long as you guys want.
Well, I was going to ask, did we talk about the children being brought up to the hospitals yet? Out of the deep underground military bases? Did we discuss that?
Sure.
Has anybody heard anything about that? Because I've only heard a little bit about it, but
My mum read something on your site, Greg. My mum, she's mentioned it on there.
Okay, cool.
She phoned me up and said, I cannot believe that this is what you've been saying all these years. I didn't want to believe it, and I've just read all about it. So, yeah.
It's great that you have a mother that's open-minded enough to.
She wasn't. She is. It's all now. She's coming to me with all the conspiracies. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I did talk a little about this. I think it was yesterday and the day before, but I can just cover it real quick right now too. I'm going on my personal Facebook page where I've made a couple really intriguing posts about what's happening. And I'll just go back to this one where it all starts. And a couple days ago, hang on, bear with me. And then I'll do a screen share while my computer is.
Didn't somebody predict that we would hear from one of the girls?
Ooh.
Or some of the females brought up.
Okay, so let me do a screen share right here.
Am I on? Can people hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so what girls? You mean like from the dumbs, or what are you talking about?
From underground, like there would be somebody on here, like said, possibly we might hear from some of the girls being brought up, that we in the media we might hear from somebody, some of them.
There's not even going to be pictures for a long time. Not even pictures. There's not going to be for a while. Not until I think all of them are up, I think, or something. We're going to have to, everyone's going to be waiting for that for probably a couple months.
I don't know. It might be kind of hard to hear it. You know,
we don't want to see, they don't want to take pictures of them anyway, because, you know, obviously that would dehumanize them more to get brought up and then get photoed.
You know, we need at this point, we just need to pray for those people, actually, that have been victimized. It's just a horrific thing. I can't believe that actually happened.
Yeah.
So 2 days ago, I posted this on my personal Facebook page where Mockingbird Alert, what's really happening in hospitals across the nation. And as it turns out, there's no massive influx of people in many hospitals. As a matter of fact, most are empty. So you got to ask yourself, why? What's happening? Why are most hospitals empty? You know, because that's not what we're being told. The mainstream media is saying, oh, there's a massive influx of people and people are, you know, working, you know, extraordinary hours. Actually, it's the exact opposite. What's going on? Why is this happening? So there was a post here by this dude, Brandon. He said, just talked to my buddy. He's an ICU nurse, intensive care unit, nurse at one of our city hospitals. He told me that they're mandating nurses off due to low census. He said that this has been the case for weeks. I don't know what the hell's going on, but this ain't about a virus. I totally agree. So this dude, Lion King, comes back and says, looks like we, the armed forces, are removing children from tunnels in Los Angeles and New York. Human and child trafficking is going to be stopped. Starts today. Hospitals are empty to house children. Same with the ships on both coasts. Very tough 2 weeks. Pray. And then lastly, we have this. And as I mentioned above the post, the citizen reporters will give you the truth that the mainstream media refuses to tell us. And this is one of our many citizen reporters out there. And this is happening in real time. This dude, mark the date, spoke with my sister who's a nurse in Texas. She's starting to see a lot of kids showing up in the hospital. Now this is in Texas, right? And there's a major place there in the center of Texas that it's all happening. Not from a virus. It seems kids are being rescued in large numbers now, some in bad shape, but will recover physically. Connect the dots yourself. It's gruesome. So it's happening. Real time. It's happening right now.
Well, I think there's a lot more going on than people realize. You know what I mean? I think it's partially that's going on, that we're rescuing some of the kids in the dumps. But my personal thing on the virus is, I really think that what we have been going through with the COVID is just kind of a practice, because from what I've researched that I did today is that really it hasn't really hit us yet. And that there is something else that is going to be a lot more virulent. And that was kind of a practice run what we went through. And so, because when I watched the president, I've been studying body language with the FBI. I had a friend that's in the FBI, kind of studying the body language, and he really seemed solemn. And so I think that there's going to be another virus that's maybe more virulent, and we just aren't. This was like a practice run to kind of help us. So, has anybody seen the Bill Gates video today?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm probably behind. So thank you for inviting me, by the way.
You're welcome. Personally, I respect what you're saying and feeling. I don't feel that. I don't see it or feel it because
I hope
more and more people are
right.
waking up right now and exposing the dark. And the more this gets exposed, like Bill Gates, he's evil as hell. Their whole agenda is getting exposed, and I don't think they can get away with another one like this.
Well, I hope not, because I feel like Greg, I feel like we are children of the light, and that's the point of why we are here. We're trying to bring the light, and we don't want this to be happening. And so we are strong, and as long as we can stand together and keep bringing the light and bringing the positivity, we are going to bring what we need to bring to not have the evil upon us. And so but you have to go through the bad part first. It's like dark to light, kind of balance thing, you think?
I totally agree with Mary Kay. Everything you're saying, Mary Kay, I totally agree with you. And I wanted to make a response to what James was talking about earlier this morning about hospitals and tents being empty. They are not empty. I found out today that the hospitals are not empty. Matter of fact, they did bring in the National Guard into Gallup, New Mexico. And the reason for that is because people are coming in, they're demanding to be tested, and the Gallup, New Mexico hospital is becoming so overwhelmed with people demanding to be tested that they had to bring in the police department, they had to bring in the National Guard to push people away. If they don't have certain symptoms, they're not allowed in. So I felt that James was a little obsessed with this morning, and I wanted to find out if he was a part of it, because
he is in New Mexico.
Yeah, after what I found out this evening is that a lot of the hospitals around New Mexico are becoming overwhelmed with people trying to push their way into the emergency room and everything. They're coming in with certain symptoms and they're like panicking. They fear they may have the virus, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
we don't want to panic.
You mean had something to do with it, as in something to do with it, like helping the children get rescued?
Right.
Yes.
Do you mean like he had something to do with it, as in helping the children? Because I think that might be having something to do with the victory also. The magnitude of the kids, it is a victory. It's taboo to talk about. Like, people on my Facebook think I'm crazy because I keep spamming Facebook with everything.
You are crazy.
Not me, babe. You're not crazy.
This is
Yeah, you are. You're crazy, just like the rest of us.
The thing that's going on,
Yay, me and Craig, crazy.
the thing that's going on right now, the thing that's going on right now is people that they want to get tested whether they have the symptoms or not, because they may be a carrier. You may be a carrier and not know it. You may not be showing the symptoms. But
why don't you just stay home if you think you're a character?
Yeah, but the thing of it is, people, the people, the Native Americans here in New Mexico, Gallup, Albuquerque, Santa Fe, other areas are, people are panicking and they want to get in and get tested just to be tested. And
Well,
what's
no
happening?
panic. Don't
Yeah,
panic.
but there is a panic. There is a panic going on, and that's
I
what
know.
people. Yeah, and
Well,
that's what
that's
people
part of the
understand.
agenda of the. That's part of the agenda of the media.
Exactly. And
Right. So we don't
the Native
want that.
Americans are panicking here and Gallup and Albuquerque, New Mexico. So they want to go in to the Gallup Hospital and everywhere, and they have tents. They do have tents. These tents are not empty, James. These tents are not empty. A matter of fact, they cannot build tents fast enough.
Well, that's the thing. The tents,
so many,
the tents they're
Have you
probably
seen them?
using for people, but the hospitals they're saving for kids. I think that's what's going on.
Exactly. And what's happening right now in Gallup, New Mexico, as of tomorrow, they're bringing in more, the military doctors and everybody to come in to do more testings. More tents have been set up. And what's happening is right now is a lot of people are being tested positive and they can't keep them home, even though they say, well, we can't keep you here in this tent because we're overloaded. You need to go home. This is what we need you to do. That is how big this pandemic has gotten. It's gotten so big that the hospital in Gallup, Albuquerque can't handle the people. They can't handle the people. They're sending people home to stay home. They're testing people to stay home and to watch them of everything that's going on.
Well, I hate to be negative, but you're probably safer at home because if you go to the hospital and you're not sick, you might get sick. So
exactly,
you got to be careful. You have to have some judgment on that.
That's exactly true.
Just build your immune system up, and you think about it. I saw a field hospital the other day, and I thought, ooh, I told my husband, I said, what? If I was really sick, would I want to be in one of those tents and those cots? No, I would not want to.
And
no comfort there.
James was talking about this morning. He thought the tents were empty. They're not empty. Let me tell you, they are not empty.
Maybe
They're
that's
not
Gallup.
empty.
Maybe that's Gallup because the whole Navajo Nation pretty much has to go there. But a lot of videos coming from other places in the United States are not showing that. And I haven't been to Gallup to see if that's really going on or not.
Yeah. Well, it's going on.
Don't go there. Because if you're not sick, you might get sick. So
See, what I've been doing, I went to town, and so for 14 days, I'm here. And
and
then
stay
that
home.
way I know if I'm sick or not. And I probably won't go to town for another month. So,
yeah, me too.
I got a message from.
I totally agree with that. But the tents, rest assured, the tents are full. They cannot build the tents fast enough. They cannot build the tents fast enough. And
on
it's
YouTube.
going on in Gallup and Albuquerque, New Mexico, and it's gotten out of control.
So
It's going crazy.
What is your message? What you got a message on YouTube?
On YouTube, Claudette is saying, and she's from Ottawa, Canada, or Ontario, excuse me. She's saying that their hospitals are empty, but they're putting up tents. So it's the same situation where most likely these tents are for the people, but the hospitals are for the children that are getting rounded up.
They don't want certain people in the hospital.
Here in Washington, we've
got if you're testing positive,
some places tents being put up.
What you got there, Sonia?
If you're testing positive, they want to keep you in a tent. They don't want you inside the hospital.
Sonia drew a card. Is it relative? What do you got there, Sonia?
I was just asking what's going on. It's new beginnings. It's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, the fool.
Yeah, stepping over a cliff, but knowing it's all going to be okay.
It's positive. Yes, new beginnings.
With regards to the
we
situation.
are born anew. Yes, thank you.
Perfect.
I love it.
Thank you.
Good one, Sonia. Good one.
You know what? I think
Oh, I'm sorry, Greg.
I was going to say, I was going to say that that's probably a good place to wrap it up, seeing how we've been on for 3 hours again.
Okay.
So once again, I want, what's that?
No, I have to eat dinner anyway, so good.
Okay. I want to thank everyone for joining us here on Zoom. We had a great crowd that came here. Some new people finally joined us, and we encourage you to stop back. As well as on YouTube, we had like over 100 people for the majority of the time there as well. So thank you for
Let's
joining
keep
us.
meditating. Let's keep meditating together as a group.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us there.
I want to meditate.
Okay, we will. And you know, so we'll probably do this again. I'm not sure when. You guys know me. Whatever spirit guides me to, but sometime soon, in the near future. So until then, I'm sending you all infinite love and light. Namaste. And check out in5d.net for killer shirts like this too. All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Peace. Peace. Bye.